And welcome to tonight's installment of the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. The Montgomery Sports Network is your destination in the River Region of Alabama for the best in high school sports coverage, from live broadcast of full games to on-demand replays and game highlights. It's all right here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Tonight we are in Millbrook at Foshee Henderson Stadium, where the number one ranked Class 6A Wetumpka Indians will visit their longtime rival, the Stanhope-Elmore Mustangs. Before we start off tonight's pregame show and get to the keys to this evening's game, here are a few words from our sponsors.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
Montgomery's new at-work station is 96.1 KISS FM. The biggest and best playlist and long sets of non-stop music. 96.1 KISS FM. Just the music you know and love. Montgomery's new at-work radio station.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was re-elected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back to the Hank Williams Museum pregame show here on the Montgomery Sports Network. My name is Kane Young. I'll be your play-by-play man. I'm here with our color commentator, Darryl Dapprich. As tonight we're in Millbrook, Darryl, for a Class 6A Region 3 showdown between two longtime rivals.
Every game we do on this network is that particular night very important. It's the most important game, and that's how we announce it, prepare for it. But, you know, this one does have a little different special feel to it, and we've kind of had this one circled as an opportunity to do a game that really means so much. This game means a lot just for the sake of proximity and the fact that it's a rivalry game. Kane, you throw in the fact that you've got both teams sitting on top of the region, both teams tied, undefeated. So the victor of this game emerges in the catbird seat. It just really adds layers to this rivalry.
So Class 6A Region 3, Stanhope-Elmore 2-0, Wetumpka 2-0. We also have the fact that Wetumpka is number one ranked in 6A. They've been there just about all season since Pennsylvania lost the game of the season. And we throw in the fact, as you said, rivals. And on top of that, for Stanhope-Elmore, it is also their senior night.
Yeah, you know, it's very interesting, a little bit strange that here we are the first week of October that, number one, it's still 90 degrees, and number two, you've got a senior night. And of all things, you know, of all nights for it to be a senior night, when this game, which is the biggest game on the schedule for both teams, comes down to a senior night type event, just going to all different kind of side stories to this, which is going to make it very, very interesting and a really exciting night of high school football Friday Night Lights.
So we're here in Foshee-Henderson Stadium in Millbrook as this is the Montgomery Sports Network Game of the Week. And we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Our title sponsor here on the Montgomery Sports Network is EXTERMITECH Pest Control, locally owned and operated. The EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team voted best in Montgomery. If you have bugs bugging you, call EXTERMITECH. They have been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. ProtectingALWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. If you are hurt on the job, he can help you get the benefits you deserve. Visit ProtectingALWorkers.com or call 334-721-4878. The Hank Williams Museum, located in downtown Montgomery. This 6,000-square-foot museum is located at 118 Commerce Street. You can take a step back in time and learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer Hank Williams. Browse the large gift and groups are welcome at the Hank.
They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
Montgomery's new at-work station is 96.1 KISS FM. The biggest and best playlist and long sets of non-stop music. 96.1 KISS FM. Just the music you know and love. Montgomery's new at-work radio station.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts. If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
And welcome back to the Hank Williams Museum pregame show here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Take a second there to apologize. We have got bumped offline for a moment, but we're back now here at Foshee-Henderson Stadium. My name's Kane Young. I'm here with Daryl Dapprich. We're going to get into our keys to the game here on the Hank Williams Museum pregame show. Daryl, we'll start out here for Wetumpka. We'll look at them first and talk about them being potentially under pressure in tonight's game.
Three factors in that. Number one, anytime you're ranked number one in the state, you got a big target on your back. How do you play with that kind of pressure when everyone's gunning for you? You're not sneaking up on anybody. So, they've got that target. Then on top of that, this is a huge game. This is a huge region game. You want to stay undefeated, and it's a rivalry game. So there's 3 factors: ranked number 1 in the state, the fact that you're undefeated in the region, and then you're doing this against your rival. Really a lot of pressure for Wetumpka to carry around tonight. How they respond to that is going to be interesting.
And second key to the game for the Indians, we'll talk about a quick start. Last week they struggled with Prattville in the first half, then exploded in the second half. Same with Buckhorn the week before on the road up at Jacksonville State, and here they are on the road for a third straight week.
Yeah, and we were doing the Eufaula Lanier game, and they struggled against Opelika. Remember, they were down, I think, by 8 at one point, and then it was that 1-point game that they have lost the last 2 years. So they have had 3 games in a row where they have not had quick starts. They need to have one against this Stanhope team and not let them get rolling.
And obviously, third thing here, when it's all said and done, we talk about number 1, we talk about region first place, but as you mentioned earlier, the proximity of these 2 schools, about 15 minutes apart, bragging rights on the line.
You know, you can define and you can really identify a huge game by the fact that no matter what the records are, not to sound cliche, but if both these teams were at the bottom of the region standings, you would still have this kind of crowd. You would still have this kind of excitement because they want to beat their rival. I mean, it's at any level of athletics that you know. You can go to the college level, the NFL level. Doesn't matter where you are in the standings. They are so close geographically, and they want bragging rights. So that matters one way or the other.
And for Stanhope-Elmore, the home standing Mustangs coming here with a record of 3-3, but 2-0 in region play. First key we'll talk about is no flag day. This is the third Stanhope-Elmore game we've had, and penalties have been an issue the first 2 that we covered.
You mentioned, Kane, as we were talking pregame, that over 100 yards penalties in both those games. Both those, they got away with it in the first game because they overmatched Chilton County a little bit. Something tells me if those 2 lined up again, though, that'd be a completely different ball game, I think, a different football game. And then against Shades Valley, I think it cost them the game. I mean, field position and giving up, you're trying to make a stop, second chances. The big one in the end zone down here, the pass interference that was unnecessary, really put Shades Valley in a position to win the football game. So they've got to play more discipline and not get penalties.
And second key, we'll talk about maintain/contain for the Mustang defense.
Well, looking at what this Stanhope-Elmore football team has done in region play is pretty phenomenal. They've only given up 6 points a game on defense. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that ain't going to happen tonight. Wetumpka's going to get their points. So you're not going to stop Wetumpka from scoring. You're not going to hold them in single digits. What you hope to do if you're Stanhope-Elmore is just contain them a little bit. We both kind of came up with a number. We feel like if Wetumpka gets up in the mid-20s, it's going to be difficult for Stanhope to win this football game. I think they've got to hold Wetumpka to 24 or under. They can't. Stanhope can be explosive offensively. We saw that in the second half against Shades Valley. But I still feel like if they think they're going to keep this game in the teens and beat Wetumpka, then it's not going to happen.
And Wetumpka comes in here averaging 36 points a game, and they scored 4 touchdowns in 4 consecutive plays last week in the third quarter at Prattville. So they have a lot of firepower. And, of course, last thing here for Stanhope-Elmore, bragging rights again. These kids all have grown up together. They played each other from Little League on up through middle school, now high school, and they see each other all around at the movies and now shopping. So bragging rights again on the line for these 2 squads.
And tonight, in this particular football game, in this rivalry, I think Stanhope can play a little bit looser. I think that, they are the underdog. I don't feel like they have the expectations and pressure that Wetumpka does. We mentioned Opelika probably has more pressure and more recognition than Stanhope does. Interesting thing about Wetumpka, though, real quick, they're actually in region play have scored less points and given up more. Now, that's the Opelika factor, though. Don't be fooled by that.
Okay, we'll get right here for the invocation and the national anthem performed by the Pride of Millbrook band here from Stanhope-Elmore.
Tonight, the American flag is being carried by Greg Hall. The state of Alabama flag is being carried by Gracie Hatter. The junior ROTC flag is being carried by John Kang. The American flag rifle bearer is Hunter Johnson. And the junior ROTC rifle bearer is Sierra Simons. We now ask that you please bow your heads as our student-led prayer will be given by Senior Edie Hunt. At the conclusion of the prayer, we ask that you place your right hand over your heart in a show of respect for our country as our national anthem will be presented by the Stanhope-Elmore Marching Band.
Let's pray. Dear God, thank you for bringing us all here safely tonight. I pray for the players' safety and good sportsmanship. Thank you, Lord, for dying on the cross for us and saving us from our sins. I pray that the players will continue to have humble spirits and give all the glory to you. Thank you for this day, and I pray for safe travels and a safe fall break for everyone. Amen.
That was the Pride of Millbrook marching band here at Stanhope-Elmore with tonight's national anthem as we are just a few minutes from kickoff here. Just over 3.5 on the clock here at Foshee Henderson Stadium. Darryl, let's take a moment and talk about the quarterbacks for each team. Let's start with Wetumpka. They had one of the most dynamic players in the state last year, J.D. Martin. He gets hurt in the preseason, can't go, and has now basically become Taekwon Rawls' team at this point. He's been almost just as effective on the season. Yeah, they haven't dropped off much, and that's amazing when you consider what a player Martin was, and really just a key cog in that Wetumpka wheel. Got it going last year when he went down with that knee injury preseason. I don't think anybody expected this team to still be ranked number one, but Rawls has done a very good job, has continued the tradition of a dual-threat quarterback for Wetumpka. He can throw it and he can run it. Yeah, J.D. Martin, I'll just be honest with you, one of the most electrifying players we've seen in this area in a long time. Of course, you mentioned quarterback tradition. Jamal Golden, one of their best quarterbacks. He was the Mr. Football back in 2010. So some strong players there out of Wetumpka. And then for Stanhope-Elmore, Kerensky McGee, he was injured, as it turns out, against Shays Valley. Came in. They were trying to nurse that injury. Had to come in when they were down 14 points against Shays Valley on his first play. He went 90 yards for a touchdown and actually had over 200 yards total offense and only a quarter and a half of play in that contest. Yeah, it makes sense. I think because it was an out-of-region game, they didn't want to risk that. But as he came in the second half, it was instant offense for Stanhope, and he really had a spark, brought him back in the ballgame, got him tied up. 2K, as they call him, McGee is going to have a big game tonight for Stanhope to have a chance to win. So these two schools just about 15 minutes apart. Stanhope-Elmore 2-0 in region play, 3-3 overall. Wetumpka 6-0. Last year was a magical run for Wetumpka. They ran through the playoffs all the way to Tuscaloosa. Had some big home wins in the playoffs over Spanish Fort and Hillcrest Tuscaloosa, and then ended up falling to Pinson Valley in the state championship. And here they are, number one. Stanhope-Elmore started off the season here on the Montgomery Sports Network with an impressive victory over Chilton County. Then lost on the last-second field goal at home here to Prattville. Won 2 region games against Benjamin Russell, a shutout victory in Calera. Then had the Shades Valley game here in non-region. Last 2 weeks, actually, they've been in Shades Valley and Smith Station and have dropped both of those. But, again, they've all been close contests for Stanhope in their losses. Obviously, 2 of the losses to 7A schools. Yeah, and that's what they're looking for tonight is the build upon that with their confidence. You talked about Wetumpka, and we talked about the offensive side of the ball. Keep an eye on number 1, Colton Adams, who's an absolute monster at linebacker. I mean, you can hear it with the crowd mic that we have. He pops really pops the leather, pops the shoulder pads when he hits. So that'll be interesting. And, of course, Trey Hardy is such a good defensive player
for Stanhope, so we focus sometimes on the offense. Both of these teams have playmakers on defense, and that should be interesting as well, see who can impose whose will. Keep an eye also on E.J. Rogers, great explosive receiver for Wetumpka and Rawls' favorite target.
And Stanhope-Elmore has some good receivers, Caden Anderson, Connor Bradford, and we saw Teddy Harris come up with a huge touchdown catch in the Shades Valley game. And also kick returns could be an issue. We've seen Stanhope-Elmore have a lot of success in the return game. They had 2 kickoff returns against Chilton County, had a punt return for a near touchdown against Shades Valley, so that can be also obviously be another factor here as Wetumpka comes on the field.
Yeah, Stanhope had some weapons emerge against Shades Valley, Teddy Harris being one of them. Bradford didn't have one of his better games. He's going to have to, and really, really be mindful of where Adams is as he sits in that zone read as a linebacker. If I'm Wetumpka and Coach Tim Perry, I have Adams kind of spy McGee, especially with his running prowess. Now he can run the football, and that'll be an interesting cat and mouse, see how that plays out.
So here we are getting ready for kickoff. Good crowd here. The Stanhope senior night. A lot of the senior parents were just on the field. They're working their way back up to the stands. The visitor side here from Wetumpka. All basically just about SRO, standing room only at this point. We're expecting maybe 5,000 to 6,000 people here tonight at Foshee Henderson Stadium as Wetumpka is going to get ready to kick it off. And kicking off for them will be Zachary Grindle for the Indians. And the homestanding Mustangs coming out in their red uniforms tonight, wearing the gray smoke-colored uniforms on the jerseys with their traditional Mustang on the side of the helmet there. Wetumpka changed there, went from that W to that, more Indian look here over the last few
more
years.
the headdress. Keep an eye on number 7 as well for Wetumpka, Nolan, who's kind of a hybrid linebacker that plays linebacker and free safety. He was a little undisciplined against Carver last year and got some penalties. When we talked about pregame keys for Stanhope, Wetumpka's got to be careful too. He got some late hits out of bounds, and so it's going to be interesting. And you're right about Stanhope. They look good in that smoke uniform. This crowd is loud, it is ready, and it is crazy here at Foshee Henderson Stadium.
Harris and McMillan back deep for Stanhope-Elmore. We're ready to get things off. EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week is underway. And looks like Harris is going to take at the 5-yard line. Work to the right side, gets around the corner, across the 20, dragged out of bounds near the 25-yard line. That's where the Mustangs will set up shop.
Nice 20-yard return for Harris. Field position is going to be a key too, Kane, for this football game. You can't put yourself behind the chains and in real vulnerable territory. You want to kind of move the football. We know that. That's obvious. But field position is going to be key.
And it looks like Powers is starting at quarterback here, number 7, with Duncan in the backfield. So already a change up here to start the game. Powers played a good bit against Shades Valley in the first half.
They're going to really have to rely and lean on Duncan.
Powers is going to throw it out there on the far side. It's going to be complete for a short gain for Stanhope-Elmore, as it looks like Anderson on the reception.
You look for Anderson to try to take some of that load off Powers. Powers not the runner that McGee is, but he had a nice first half against Shades Valley. He's gained some experience. He's more comfortable with every quarter that goes by.
So 2nd down and 7. Here's a handoff. Duncan working right side. Moves across the 30. He's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4 or 5 here on this first possession.
And you know that Coach Bradford's going to want to see a running game get established for Stanhope, take some of the pressure off Powers, the young quarterback.
So Anderson in the slot here near side with Harris. Bradford up at the right with McMillan. Duncan in the backfield here for the Mustangs on 3rd down and 4. Powers going to look to put up. Now tucks it. Throws it late across the middle looking for Bradford. It goes incomplete. And then it's going to be 4th down. And looks like a punting situation for Stanhope-Elmore.
It's hard to tell from the angle that we have here, Kane, if that ball was catchable. It looked like it was. We saw a little bit of the dropsies by Bradford against Shades Valley. But when Powers steps up in the pocket like that and delivers the ball, you've got to hold on to it, keep the drive alive.
So Malik Davis back deep for Wetumpka. Persetti on to do the kicking here for Stanhope-Elmore. A good 3 and out for the Indians defense to start things off. No pressure here on the kick. Davis grabs it for the fair catch at about the 38-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Wetumpka. And we'll get our first opportunity to see the outstanding safety converted to quarterback, Tyquan Rawls.
Just amazing if you think about it, Kane. A defensive stud, a defensive player gets called upon. I don't know how many snaps he got preseason in practice. but you've got to step in that role and play that position, and really they haven't skipped a beat. I'm not saying that J.D. Martin doesn't make them a better football team. I am saying there hasn't been much drop-off when you're number 1 ranked in the state. So
Terrence Thomas out there at the backfield with Jones to start things off for Wetumpka. They're going to motion Jones near side. They'll give it to Thomas to the left. He's immediately dropped, and I think he fumbled on the ball. The ball's loose, and Stanhope-Elmore is running down the sideline with it. It's going to be a scoop and score to start the game here for the Mustangs.
That's exactly what Stanhope-Elmore needed to gain confidence, to put doubt in Wetumpka's mind. A big, big play. Kane, we didn't talk about turnovers being a key, but they are in any football game, and a scoop and score is exactly what you need with the doctor ordered if you're the Mustangs.
It didn't quite get the number, but there was just about 7-8 players around the football, and he had a convoy going down the sideline. Yeah, score for Stanhope.
You couldn't see the ball come out from where we were, but you could see the Stanhope bench erupt, and that led us to believe it was a fumble.
So the extra point attempt here will be by Dylan Presetti, the kicker for Stanhope-Elmore. He struggled early in the year with his extra points, but the last few games he's been perfect as the Mustangs are running some players on late here. Wetumpka trying to get their defense set. They only got about 8 players out in the field here. Players running on. There's a snap, and now we have an offside. They threw a flag. Wetumpka has a bunch of players running on the field here.
And there didn't seem any urgency at all when they got on the field, Kane, to run to the line of scrimmage. They were kind of jogging, and you knew the penalty was going to get thrown, the flag.
So offsides, and the ball would move to about the 1.5-yard line.
I don't know. I might roll the dice here.
I was going to ask about 2 points.
2 points. You're the underdog. You got nothing to lose.
Presetti on here for an extra point. We'll try it again. High snap. They get it down. Kick is blocked, and it's going to drift off to the right. No good. So Wetumpka gets the block here early in the first quarter. So 10:39 left first quarter. Stanhope-Elmore 6, Wetumpka nothing. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican.
What an answer by Wetumpka.
That's what Wetumpka was looking for. After you miss the extra point, they come right down the field with just a lot of quarterback powers, and they threw one pass to Malik Davis right here on that little bubble screen, and now Wetumpka has an opportunity to take the lead with Grindle kicking the extra point.
So an 80-yard touchdown drive by Wetumpka, and we're tied at 6 for the moment here at Foshee Henderson Stadium. Grindle on. The holder is Davis. Low snap. They get it spotted. Grindle gets it up, and it is good. So our new score here with 6:21 left in the first quarter. Wetumpka 7, Stanhope-Elmore 6. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
Welcome back to the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. It is Wetumpka 7, Stanhope-Elmore 6. A lot of action in these first 5 minutes, Darryl.
Really is. And now if you're Stanhope, your goal and your mission is to see if you can get some ball control drives, move the ball down the field. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out after all this momentum and put your defense back on the field. So Stanhope here has to get a little drive going, get some more of that confidence and momentum back.
So Allie McMillan back deep with Teddy Harris for the Mustangs, as Grindle will kick it off again here for Wetumpka. Grindle kicks this one deep. Harris will get it at about the 3. And he's hit right around the 20-yard line. And very good kick coverage for Wetumpka.
Yeah, number 22 for Wetumpka, Terrence Thomas, who's the running back. He's got him on special teams. Did a good job of tracking him down. And now the Wetumpka defense back on the field. See if Stanhope can get something sustained, and it looks like McGee. No, it's still Powers at quarterback.
Jeremy Powers, the back at quarterback here for Stanhope-Elmore. Duncan offsets him to the left. Bradford in the slot on the near side. Now they'll flip the formation. The Stanhope players still have 10 on the play clock, looking for the signal to the far sideline. Duncan flips back again, 5 on the play clock. We're going to have the snapper here. Powers calls it himself to the near side, has a little room there, across the 25 out to about the 27-yard line on first down.
Nice little play call. There was just one little hole there between the center and the guard. Powers found it and picked up 7 yards on first down.
So it'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Mustangs. Bradford on the near side here, along with Harris and Anderson as receivers. McMillan off at the top of the screen. Duncan gets this handoff, tries to get outside. He does. He has the first down as he lowers the boom there, picking up the positive yards at a first down for Stanhope-Elmore.
He's pretty fired up, too. He got that pad level, came low, and was really able to drive the Wetumpka defender Murphy that time to the ground.
So first down for Stanhope-Elmore. That is their initial first down here of the contest, as it comes with 5.5 left in the first quarter.
But, Kane, that's what they needed. They didn't need to get their defense back on the field. At least picking up one first down gives them a rest.
Powers looking to throw. Goes right, and it goes off the hands of the receiver that time and is dropped. That would have been a big play for Stanhope-Elmore, as McMillan unable to hang on to it.
Yeah, McMillan had the little slant right there, and that's twice now that Powers has put the ball on the receivers. They've got to make that catch for Powers and give him some help.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 10. Trips to the near side here for Stanhope-Elmore. Bradford, Harris, and Anderson down here at the bottom of the screen. Powers going to look this way. Throws complete to Bradford at about the 35. He's dropped immediately after a short gain, as it's going to bring up 3rd down. Looked like Darren Nolan on the tackle there for Wetumpka, number 7.
The hybrid linebacker safety did a great job that time, coming up and sniffing that pass out. It was just a little hook, a little sit-down route, and he gobbled it up quick.
So 3rd down and 6 at the 36 for the Mustangs, as they're going to stack the receivers in the formation on each side. Duncan offset to the right of Powers here. A lot of noise coming from the Wetumpka stands here with their cowbells below us. Powers looking to throw. Throws late. Oh, it's almost intercepted. And Powers was drilled on the play. That might be a late hit. It might be a first down here for Stanhope-Elmore. We'll see on the penalty.
Yeah, I see a flag. It's a little bit darker yellow, but it would have come back anyway, but he could have walked into the end zone. Marshall that time for Wetumpka.
So that is a personal foul, roughing the passer on Wetumpka. 15 yards and a first down for Stanhope-Elmore.
You know, when you're coming in as the underdog, when plays and drives get extended, Kane, that's when you upset Central, and Wetumpka just took themselves out of position to get the ball back.
So 4:36 left first quarter. Bradford and Anderson in the slot position here. Duncan still in the backfield with Powers as the ball is just across midfield. Powers rolls right, looking, throws it late, trying to find Bradford over there and threw it behind him.
Yeah, that was a good play call, and it was good in theory. Bradford got to the right spot that time. That's on Powers. Throws it low into his other side, opposite side. If he could get that on the numbers where Bradford can run while he's catching it, that could have been a big play.
So 2nd and 10 at the Wetumpka 49-yard line. Again, very hot night here. See Wetumpka subbing a lot of D linemen in and out here early in the game. Duncan gets it right side, trying to get outside, and he's going to be dropped out there. And the ball is loose for a moment, but that's a big tackle by number 7, Darren Nolan for Wetumpka.
And Nolan's got to be careful. We talked about it, Kane. He taunts too much. He celebrates after a tackle and sometimes doesn't celebrate with his teammates. He could get flagged for unsportsmanlike. So Coach Tim Perry's got to keep an eye on that for Wetumpka.
And Duncan slow to get up and heads off the field as Xavier Hall comes in at running back for Stanhope-Elmore on what is now a 3rd and 11 right at midfield. 4:08 left first quarter, clock running. Powers surveys the defense. 3 receivers to the near sideline here. Looking, trying to set a screen up over here to complete. Anderson near side. Has some blocking out there, but can't elude the defense. check that. It was Harris on the reception. It'll bring up a gain of 4 to bring up 4th down from Stanhope-Elmore.
You could tell Wetumpka schematically was just going to let Stanhope dump the ball in front of them, but just wrap up and tackle. No yards after the catch. As long as they did that, they wouldn't make the 1st down, and that's exactly what happened.
So 4th down for Stanhope-Elmore. Teddy Harris on the punt for Stanhope, as Davis will go back deep for the Indians. And Wetumpka running players in and off here. Play clock's not running for some reason. We've had this issue 3 weeks in a row. There's kick is away. And almost hits a Wetumpka player there. It's unreturnable. Good kick. It'll go out of bounds at about the 15-yard line here for the Indians.
Yeah, that's effective. That's a good punt that time. It's actually, they're spotting at the 11, so they've pinned Wetumpka back within their own 15-yard line. Had a couple of 1st downs, kept their defense off the field. And now Stanhope's hoping to play that field position game. You hold them here, you're going to get the ball back in good spot.
So Wetumpka takes over. 3:04 left, 1st quarter. This will be their 3rd possession. On the 1st possession in the game, they fumbled the football, scoop and score for the Mustangs. The 2nd possession, Wetumpka went 80 yards. Most of that was on the ground. 74 yards of it was on the ground as Jones and Thomas come out in the backfield with Rawls in the middle of them. Going to hand this off. Looks like Thomas working left side. He's going to have a 1st down as he's finally driven out of bounds near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that left side, they found something there, Kane, on the Stanhope right side of the defense. Wetumpka's been gashing them, especially Thomas. Then they switch it up and have Jones run to the other side. So they're pretty much having their way on the ground right now with the Mustangs.
So 1st and 10, ball officially spotted. Looks like at the 24. As this time, Thomas will go off to the left, trips to the near side here for the Indians. Rawls is going to pull the ball, and he's immediately dropped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1, and that's about it. Good recognition that time by the Stanhope-Elmore defense.
Yeah, that's good defense because if he breaks that initial line of contain, he could have a big play. So great job by Stanhope's defense, defensive interior line that time. Butler.
So Butler made the play. That's twice he's kind of tracked down the quarterback. Maybe he might be spying, and that might be his responsibility.
Yeah, he may be the spy. You're absolutely right.
2 minutes left here, 1st quarter, 2nd and 7 for the Indians. Thomas gets it straight up the middle. Not much happening there. A nice stand by the interior of that Stanhope-Elmore defense.
Just a straight read that time. Hand off to Thomas. Great job by the host of Stanhope tacklers making sure he didn't get past the initial line of scrimmage, and now it brings up a big 3rd down.
3rd down and about 6 from the 27. They have to get out to about the 33, maybe almost the 33 and a half for the Indians. 1:30 and counting left in the 1st quarter. Rawls is going to roll the pocket to the left. He throws late and overshoots his receiver on the far side there. Looking for Rogers as we bring up 4th down.
Yeah, he had him on the little just stop route, but he threw it late and he threw it high. Stanhope, give their defense credit. They did exactly what they needed to do. And with their punt return game, they should get pretty good field position here.
So it looks like Connor Bradford is back deep for the Mustangs. We've seen Teddy Harris back there at moments this year too. As Grindle will do the kicking here for Wetumpka.
Bradford sitting up right at his own 40-yard line.
Play clock down to 10 as the Mustangs run another player onto the field. They're coming after it. Grindle's kick is high, not very far. Bradford calls for the fair catch. There was a lot of, looked like there was contact or interference. I don't see a flag, I see a beanbag.
Yeah, it's a good job by Bradford to get on that ball. I thought that was catch-kick interference there, shoulder pad to shoulder pad. But Bradford, nonetheless, gets back on the football.
Well, no harm, no foul, I guess. It looked like there was contact, but he gets at the 40 where it was camped at the start of the punt.
As opposed to maybe the 45 of Wetumpka, if they call that.
So bring up 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, and looks like we are having a change at quarterback. I see Kerensky McGee in there, Xavier Hall and Teddy Harris in the backfield.
Let's see if this is the spark that the Mustang offense needs right here.
McGee gets it, hands it off. This is Teddy Harris, right side. A nice hole there. He's out near the midfield and close to a 1st down.
See, even if he doesn't carry the ball, 2K McGee is such a threat that Wetumpka's got to respect his running ability. They can't just key on the running back.
So 1st and 10 to play. Gain 10 officially out the midfield for the Mustangs. As this time Xavier Hall stays in the backfield with McGee. Hall gets it, plants his foot, drives right towards the middle of the line. He is dropped immediately by number 5, Patrick Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas did a really good job of recognition on that one. Stayed with the tailback that time, Harris, and just drove him to the ground. We have not seen Duncan since the Nolan tackle on him on the last drive.
So bring up 2nd and 8 as we're down to 15 seconds left in the first quarter.
Look at Anderson down at the bottom, and there's offside.
Yeah, contact there on Wetumpka. That should be a free 5 for the Mustangs.
Interesting to see the little one-on-one matchup down here with Anderson and number 16, Devontae Giritto for Wetumpka. They're leaving him on an island, a little press man. Anderson has that ability to separate Kane.
We saw that in week 1 against Chilton County. He got behind the defense. They kind of threw some jump balls to him, and he made the Tigers pay. Here on 2nd and what it amounts to 3 yards here for the Mustangs. McGee takes it himself right side. He has the first down as he's across the 40 to the 38. 5-yard gain on the first down for Stanhope-Elmore.
He just hits the hole faster than Powers when he's running that quarterback draw. He knows where he wants to go, and he gets there.
So that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. An exciting first quarter here for Foshee Henderson Stadium. It was Wetumpka 7, Stanhope-Elmore 6. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
Montgomery's best country is on Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Bama Country with Bubba and Christy every weekday morning 5:30 to 10 a.m.
We're gonna have a house party.
Bama Country playing today's best country and all the country legends. Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Listen to Bama Country 98.9 WBAM.
And welcome back to Foshee Henderson Stadium. The Mustangs on the march here, having a 1st and 10 at the Wetumpka 38, as the Indians have a 7-6 lead over the homestanding Mustangs. Second quarter action getting underway here on the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week. Kerensky McGee at quarterback, Teddy Harris and Xavier Hall in the backfield. McGee's going to look to throw it out there on the far side. It goes incomplete as his receiver that time, Harris, kind of hung out to dry, and he's slow to get up.
Yeah, Nowden for Wetumpka really laid the wood to him, and it's one of those you could see it coming because the pass was leading him right into the defender, number 26, Nowden for Wetumpka, and all his momentum, and it was a clean tackle, but really a devastating hit.
Yeah, they threw the ball. Harris had to turn back and look for the football, and good quick pursuit there by Wetumpka here on the first play of the second quarter. So we're going to take a quick timeout here. Wetumpka leads at 7-6 here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
State Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery.
So we're back here at Foshee Henderson Stadium. Good news is Harris was able to walk off on his own power. 2nd and 10. They're going to hand this off, I believe, to number 37 on the carry for the Mustangs. That is going to be Purnell. It's going to pick about 4, maybe 5 yards on the play.
So now you've got two of your weapons out, Harris and Duncan, two key cogs for Stanhope-Elmore, and you're going to just see if they're going to throw the ball a little bit. Bradford, Anderson, because Harris is such a big play threat for them.
3rd and 5. McGee calls the signals. Now they look to the sideline. Play clock still has 15 on it. Play clock down to 7. They're going to have to hurry. Purnell's going to get it left side, trying to get outside. And a nice job by the Wetumpka defense to string that out.
So quick, sideline to sideline. Adams in on the play, along with Nolan, two very, very formidable defenders that time. And there was just no chance that play was getting outside.
And we have another injured player. I think it's
Is that Bradford?
I didn't see who went down over there. I see Caden Anderson helping him up. I think you're right. That is Connor Bradford limping off.
He got rolled up on the play, Kane. He was blocking downfield doing his job, and which so often happens when you're not looking, you can get rolled up on from behind.
So now it's 4th down for the Mustangs. They may go for it. They're kind of in that no man's land that you talk about each week. And it looks like we're going to get a timeout, maybe. The clock is referee official, or they're bringing the punt team on. Okay. So punt team coming on here. Coach Bradford elected to play field position.
That's a smart move. 7-6 game. Try to pin Wetumpka deep. Your defense did a great job the last time they were on the field.
And I don't see Harris out there to punt. It's number 23, Jeremy Thompson, in this time. They're going to take the delay game. They'll move it back 5 yards and take the penalty.
Which gives them a little more room, but with Thompson having not been their regular punter, it'll be interesting to see what kind of punt he can get off.
Well, Wetumpka kind of kept their base defense out there. They were kind of playing for a fake potentially. Let's move it back here, bring up 4th and 13. Only 2 penalties so far in Stanhope. A good start that we talked about in the pregame.
Really good start.
There's a kick is away to the near side. Davis not going to be able to return it. Takes a great roll, and the Mustangs are going to down this down at the 5-yard line. So a good call by Coach Bradford to play field position here early in the second quarter.
Great punt. You don't have to kick it 40 yards in the air. Let it roll. That's exactly what Thompson did that time, and now Wetumpka setting up in the shadow of their own goalpost.
So officially 37 yards on the punt. The Indians pinned back on their 5-yard line here. I'm going to be up to the Stanhope-Elmore defense to try to get a quick stand, maybe a 3-and-out, or potentially a turnover.
Interesting. I hadn't seen Wetumpka play this year, so I don't know how often this happens, but they got Colton Adams in on offense right now.
Yeah, the full house backfield, Colton Adams and Patrick Lucas, the defensive end who's committed to go to Ole Miss. It's going to be a direct snap back there to the running back and getting to the near sideline. Is that Thomas or Jones? That was Jones on the carry.
Yeah, Jones out of the Wildcat, direct snap. And they had Colton Adams just lined up next to him.
They run that down on the goal line sometimes. I noticed in their Northview game they did that a few times, watching some tape on them this week. We're backed up on their own end. Coach Perry, hey, let's play it safe and just try to grind out a first down here. So 2nd and 1. Jones right side, who's going to break loose. Driving across the 40-yard line. An impressive run on 2nd and 1 for the Indians.
And that's what you can't have happen if you're the Mustang defense. You've got them at the 5-yard line, and just 2 plays later, they're out of danger at the 41, and they're going to stay in this formation.
This time it's Thomas getting the snap, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play. Good job by the Mustang defense as they switch runners there.
I'm trying to locate Rawls. There he is. He's going back in the game now. I'm making sure there was not an injury issue.
And Adams and Davis will come, or excuse me, Lucas will come off for the Indians on 2nd and 10. So that's 2nd and 10 at the 42, we'll call it, with 9.5 left in the first half here from Foshee Henderson Stadium. Thomas offset to the right. We're going to look to throw it to Thomas out of the backfield. It goes off his hands, incomplete.
Well conceived play there, but Wetumpka just looks a little bit off with the passing game tonight, Kane. They just can't connect. That time Rawls just overshoots number 22, Thomas, on a play that should have picked up 5 or 6 yards if you hit him in stride.
So 3rd and 10. Rawls 1 for 3 here in the early going for 6 yards. As this time Jones and Thomas are in the backfield for the Indians. Stanhope showing a late blitz. Rawls looking. He's trying to go deep on the far side. And it's going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Davis along the right sideline.
And that was good coverage by the secondary of Stanhope. They used, we've talked about that before, the out of bounds. The sideline as an extra defender made Davis run out of bounds. There was no chance for that to be completed. And Stanhope's defense bows their neck. That was Hunt covering down there on Davis.
So 4th down, and this time it is Caden Anderson back deep for the Mustangs as Grindle is on the kick again for the Indians. Grindle's kick is away. Anderson calls for a fair catch. He's not going to field it, though. As it hits about the 30, takes a friendly roll for Wetumpka down near the 24-yard line with 9:01 left here in the first half. So reset it. Indians 7, Mustangs 6. A lot of fireworks those first 2 possessions, but now the game has kind of settled down here as we move into the second quarter.
It has, and Wetumpka has not been able to establish any kind of semblance of a passing game. That's something that's going to have to happen later on in this football game to get any kind of separation. Stanhope with McGee is going to have to get some explosive plays.
So Kerensky McGee's out there. Looks like Xavier Hall's out there. Some of the normal starters having some injuries here early on in the early going for Stanhope-Elmore. We also see now
Willie
Burks goes in. Yeah, Burks goes in and running back for the Mustangs. Play clock's down to 5. They're going to have to hurry. McGee's going to hand this off to Hall. He tries to work over right guard for a couple yards across the 25.
Helmet comes off. Going to have to sit out a play, one of the Stanhope's offensive linemen.
Gain of 3 on the play for Hall. And Coach Bradford really having to patchwork some of his offense right now without Bradford in there and without Duncan.
Winston goes off for Stanhope because his helmet came off.
So 2nd and 7. The ball whistled back into play, and the clock starts again here with under 9 to play. Burke's the lone man in the backfield with McGee. McGee's going to look to put it up in the air. Oh, it opens up for him like the Red Sea. And he goes across out to 35. A nice open field tackle that time for Wetumpka. Going to be close to the first down for the Mustangs, but that play looked like it could have went for more, as it was, I believe, Adams again on the tackle.
I think he's the spy. We talked about that, Kane, and he was right there, brought McGee down. But more importantly, his helmet came off, and one of your best defensive players now comes off the field if you're Wetumpka.
And it looks like Jones replaced him there on defense, the running back. So it'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They're out to their own 34-yard line. Hall lines up behind McGee. Hall's going to get it, tries the right side, and not much happening there on the interior of that Wetumpka defense. It was number 73, Ja'Cory Murphy, making the initial contact.
Yeah, Murphy did a great job of just closing that up. I think they gave them he gave him 2 yards on that. So
generous spot, I think.
Look, I mean, and it's even past the 35, close to the 36.
So 2nd down, we'll call it 8. Xavier Hall playing a lot of running back. Burks is in there now. Offset, or check that, is Purnell offset to the right. 37 and 27, other running backs here for the Mustangs. McGee's going to look to throw. Tucks it. Dances across the 35 and is driven back there. Huge hit by the Wetumpka defense.
That's Jones, who you had mentioned came in for Adams. Does a great job. They really swarm to the football when they tackle. They tackle with velocity is the thing that I've noticed.
So 3rd down, and we'll call it 13 with 6:45 left in the second quarter.
And I don't see Adams. Yeah, I do. Okay, he's back in.
McGee going to look to throw. He's going deep. Far sideline over there. And the jump ball, and it looks like it's caught for Stanhope-Elmore on the far side. That's going to be one of the replacement receivers on the reception. Look like number 22.
Blake Durham with a great job. He goes up. McGee, like he did against Shades Valley, the ball looks like it's up for grabs, but it ends up landing in his receiver's arms.
So jump ball there. Comes down with the football at the 30-yard line, and the Mustangs are in business. 1st and 10, huge play, but we saw some of that same type of activity against Shades Valley.
It's all you can ask for from your receiver on a 50-50 ball like that, Kane. Go up and get it.
This time Burks is in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff left side, pushes the pile forward. for about 2, maybe 3 on the play.
And really, the Mustang attack offensively from the running game, the ground game, is just to keep Wetumpka honest. If they can pick up 2 or 3 and make it manageable, because their 2 best running backs are out of the game right now.
So Trey Duncan went down earlier. We haven't seen him back in action. Burke stays in there. We saw Connor Bradford go out. We saw Teddy Harris go out for the Mustangs here in the early going with injuries. McGee's going to roll right. Oh, nice move. Man, McGee goes down near the 20-yard line. He's going to pick up about 6 yards. Maybe he's going to have a first down, looks like.
Little stutter step move on Adams. Adams thought he had him in his sights, but McGee, 2K, just goes right around him. And I've been impressed with him, and I've been impressed with number 20, Jones, who's a running back for Wetumpka. He has really played great defensively as well.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Wetumpka 20-yard line as we go down to the 5:15 mark here in the second quarter. Burke stays in the backfield. McGee pulls it left, trying to get outside. This time he's driven back as it looks like Adams on the tackle for Wetumpka.
Yeah, that time the Wetumpka defense really read that draw, that read, and Adams, who I feel like is spying McGee, spot him for about a 5-yard loss.
They're going to give him forward progress back to the 20. A lot of noise here from the Wetumpka fans on the visitor's side as it's 2nd down and 10. As we're now under 5 to play, actually approaching the 4.5 mark of the second quarter now. Play clock at 10 seconds. McGee's going to look to put it up in the air as a whistle.
Man, he had Anderson, too, on the slant, Kane.
They call a false start on the Mustang.
Had him wide open at the 10. Now, I don't know if that was a result of Wetumpka seeing the flag and kind of easing up a little bit, but he had him.
So to bring 2nd down and 15. Anderson in the slot on the right side. Over here on this side of the field with McMillan. You almost have to give credit to the Wetumpka crowd there making that noise.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 15 at the 25. McGee looking to put it up in the air. Throws far sideline. Has a man running down there open, but it goes incomplete. It was overshot his receiver that time, bringing up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, he's got to put that more on the line and try to hit him at the 5. That's not designed to go to the pylon. That's designed to be caught at the 5. And McGee just overshot him.
So 3rd down and 15. The field goal kicker, Dylan Presetti, we saw him earlier this year miss a couple field goals in the game against Shades Valley. They're probably outside his range. They probably got to get to at least the 15 to have a shot at it. And the Wetumpka fans here making a lot of noise with his cowbells below us. Almost that makes you think you're in Starkville on this 3rd and 15. McGee's going to roll the pocket near side. Chase from behind, looking, throws late across the middle, has a man down there, and it's going to fall incomplete. Good recognition. Looked like it was Anderson trying to come back for the football. No, check that. It was McMillan. It falls incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
If he can just get a little bit more mustard on that throw, maybe 2 yards more depth, that's a touchdown for Stanhope.
Good recognition by McGee as McMillan broke open late behind the defense. And looks like Coach Bradford's going to roll the dice here on 4th and 15. Again, kind of that no man's land here. Too far for a field goal, too close for a punt. McMillan on the far side here with Hall and Anderson trips to the left. Wetumpka shows a late blitz. McGee throwing far left side over there. And it's going to be incomplete. There's a flag, though, that comes in late. Looks like it might be pass interference on Wetumpka.
The left arm of the Wetumpka defender was riding him all the way down from the 5-yard line into the end zone. Number 26 for Wetumpka, who we called his number before. That's Nowden on there on the coverage one-on-one. And because the ball was underthrown, Kane, it caused the pass interference.
So he was trying to hit Blake Durham down the sideline there, McGee was. It goes incomplete. We'll get the official spot here when they sort it all out. It was 4th down and 15. They're going to mark it down near the 10. Pass interference officially the call on Wetumpka. It'll be a 1st down, and that should be 1st and goal for the Mustangs. Well, they still have that. Take that back. They got 4th down on the down marker, so maybe 4th and 1. The officials having a little conversation here and trying to sort this out.
Yeah, I thought that was an automatic 1st down.
Yeah, the high school rules vary somewhat from the college game and from the NFL, and I think there's some confusions about the officials about that right now.
I know it's 15 yards.
Yeah, 15 yards. So they marked off the 15. It should have been 4th and 15. They're going to pass interference. There's a signal again. And now they say first down, Stanhope-Elmore. There we go. So first down for the Mustangs. Now it looks like it's going to be first and goal. Ball resting just a shade inside the 10-yard line. Burks in the backfield with McGee. Play clock at 15. 3:55 left in the second quarter. McGee's going to take the snap, tries to go right, spins out of it, works his way left, still on his feet, fighting forward to about the 6, maybe the 5 on the play.
Did that all on his own. I mean, there was just upfield penetration by the Wetumpka defense. The blocking, there was no penetration by the offensive line of Stanhope, and McGee did that all on his own.
So second down and goal. We're going to call it at the 5. As the Mustangs will go trips to the near side. Burks in the backfield with McGee. Play clock at 10 as the Mustangs look to the sideline. They got about 4 coaches over there signaling in plays. McGee looks, throws, left side, trying to go back shoulder. It's caught. Is he in? Touchdown, Stanhope-Elmore.
That's a great play call, and that's a great throw by McGee to the back shoulder. He threw it before the Wetumpka defender, and Nolan could turn around, and the ball was already in the Stanhope receiver's hand.
So it was Durham on the reception for the score, and the Mustangs take the lead 12-7 with 3:05 left here in the first quarter.
And now it's a no-brainer. You go for 2 to try to get a touchdown lead. But what a great throw that time by McGee. I mean, he threw it before the Wetumpka defender even was in his cut.
So they're going for 2. The head official trying to get the play clock reset. Durham out to the left here with Hall. 2 receivers to each side. McGee looks, throws, corner over here. And coming down with the football. Is he in? It's a catch for the 2-point conversion for the Mustangs. It's McMillan, and the Mustangs lead at 14-7.
McGee has got a knack of putting the ball right where it needs to be, but when it leaves his hand, it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to be intercepted or knocked down. And right now, the want-to of the Stanhope receivers is just greater than the defensive backs.
2 50-50 balls, and Durham and McMillan making plays for the Mustangs. We'll keep it right here as Stanhope-Elmore has a 14-7 lead on number 1 ranked Wetumpka.
And this is a shocker early on because that was nothing fluky other than the pass interference, which gave them life about that drive.
So there were about 3 or 4 times the Wetumpka defense looked like they were going to get off the field and could not do it. And McGee and his counterparts out there. And let's give Stanhope-Elmore a lot of credit. They got a lot of players in and out that haven't played a whole lot this year that are making plays for them right now.
2 of their biggest offensive weapons are on the sideline. 3, if you include Bradford, too. And the way Wetumpka's defense was flying around the ball, to come down and put that kind of sustained drive together is very impressive for the Mustangs.
Teddy Harris, Connor Bradford, Trey Duncan, all injured here in the late first quarter, early second quarter for Stanhope-Elmore. But Blake Durham comes in, has 2 catches, that one for a score from 5 yards. They targeted him on 4th down. That time McMillan making the play on the 2 points. And it's the Mustangs out in front 14-7 here in the 50th renewal of this rivalry. These 2 schools about 15 minutes apart from each other. As Thomas is the deepest of the return men for Wetumpka. He's camped out at about his 2-yard line. Pressetti to kick it off for Stanhope-Elmore. Kick is away. It's going to be taken by one of the upmen on the far side over there. It's number 17 coming near side. And nice as a flag on the play. Nice, I was saying, nice return across the 30 there for the Indians. It was
and there's
Brandon
more flags.
Bowman. There's more extracurricular activity after the play. We're going to have to sort this out.
You got your kicker involved in a little skirmish there if you're Wetumpka. Grindle, who obviously took exception to something, and now he is getting an earful from Coach Perry.
So we talked about maintaining composure before the game.
That was actually Noah Barclay, who kicked that off, not Grindle. So I think you got a block in the back on Wetumpka and probably a little unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness as well. We'll see.
So we have to sort this out. There's a flag back in the return area in the area of a block in the back. And then we got 3 flags where the extracurricular shenanigans took place. Still no official from the white hat at the moment, but they're marching back here. Block in the back on Wetumpka. That's going to be half the distance to the goal. And then we have dead ball, personal foul, Wetumpka. And maybe they marked one penalty back. I think they got to mark another one here.
Yeah, you just cannot lose your composure there. Part of that was coming back anyway with the block in the back, so you'd have been about the 25. But as it is now, you're back in dangerous territory, deep in your own territory.
Back here at the 7-yard line for Wetumpka. Rawls comes back out of quarterback here.
And they've just had no semblance of a passing game at all, the Indians, so Stanhope can load the box, read the quarterback, shadow him a little bit. They do have trips down here at the bottom of the screen.
They're going to hand this off. Thomas, right side, escapes one tackle, can't escape the second one, driven down after a gain of a couple yards out towards the 10.
And Stanhope again looks like the more fired up, more energetic team as their defense is flying around the football right now.
So play picked up 4 as we're at the 2-minute mark here of the first half, 2.5 minutes officially. We have one scoreboard here, Stanhope-Elmore. We're partially blocked out by the wall to our left, so we're trying to keep up with the time here as best we can. 2nd and 6 at the 10-yard line. Looks like Adams and Lucas are going back there in the backfield for Wetumpka, along with Jones. Jones going to take the snap. Kind of dances to the left side and lowers the shoulder. He's out near the 20, or excuse me, the 15. Pick up about 5 on the play. Bring up a crucial 3rd down here in the early going for both teams.
Yeah, and that was a sneaky 5 yards because it looked like he was stopped for about a 1 or 2 yard gain, but he fell forward, got some more yardage.
3rd down, we'll call it 2 officially. Get a stop here. You think Stanhope-Elmore will take a timeout, Darryl?
I do. You've got. I mean, you're up 14-7. You cannot go conservative when you're playing the number 1 team in the state and you're the underdog.
Wetumpka will get the ball to start the second half. Rawls back in at quarterback with Jones. Rawls pulls it right side, spinning his way out towards the 20. He's going to have the 1st down, so a big 1st down for Wetumpka.
Yeah, conservative play call, but now they can milk the clock, try to go down the field and get some points.
1:18. Clock's still running for some reason. It never stopped. And visitor fans over here have a right to be upset. And now I think Coach Perry, well, one of the back officials realized it too. They're going to have to put some time back on the clock.
I would say about 8 seconds they need to add.
So you got the number 1 team in the state. The fans here, they know their football. They know what's going on.
They know. They need to add about 8 seconds.
They're officially here at Foch Henderson Stadium. The scoreboard off to our left corner says 109.
I think probably 118, 119.
And, of course, one of the problems here is we don't have the field mic, so they have to communicate to the far side press box up there to the clock operator. The clock operator is an official here with the AHSAA. All right, they reset it to 120, so we'll wind this back in here. It'll be 1st and 10 from Wetumpka, 120 remaining till halftime. Wetumpka has 3 timeouts. Check that, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Stanhope-Elmore has 3.
So they put 12 seconds back on the clock. But Stanhope is going to have to throw, Wetumpka is going to have to throw the football if they want to get some points here before halftime.
So Rawls with Jones in the backfield. Rawls going to look to put it up in the air. Looks near side, throws out here on the out route, and it goes off the hands of his receiver. He was looking for Rogers that time. It goes incomplete.
Rogers, the leading receiver for Wetumpka, has got to make that catch. That's a 1st down if he does. And he could got out of bounds and stop the clock, Kane.
So 2nd and 10. Hardy on the coverage that time for Stanhope-Elmore. Clock stopped with 1:10 now remaining till intermission. A lot of drop passes tonight, but of course it's very hot. Might be wet out there, some sweaty hands. 90 degrees today here in October. They're gonna Rawls is gonna take it near side, escapes one man, and finally dropped near the 25-yard line. Picks up about 5.
Call a timeout.
Now we have a timeout taken by Wetumpka. So we're going to take it with them here. Officially 59 seconds to halftime. Our score, Stanhope-Elmore 14, Wetumpka 7. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week on the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
Welcome back to Foshee Henderson Stadium. #1 Wetumpka trails longtime rival Stanhope-Elmore here with 59 seconds left till halftime. Wetumpka facing a third down. We'll call a 4 from the 31. As they're going to empty the backfield here for the moment with Rawls out there by himself. There's an H-back in there. It's number 48, Noah Barclay. Rogers down at the bottom of the screen. They're going to motion Thomas. Rawls is going to take it himself. And a nice tackle that time by the Stanhope-Elmore defense. That was number 9 on the play, Cordell Love.
Yeah, Cordell Love read that play. Now I think Stanhope's taking the timeout, which is smart.
So we'll keep it here for the moment. Stanhope has 2 timeouts remaining. There's 50 seconds left. We have not seen the Wetumpka punt game be very effective.
No, we haven't. But we've got 2 now. Punt returners down for Stanhope, Harris and Bradford. Maybe they put Anderson back in there.
He was back there last time.
Yeah. Or McMillan has also returned punts before. So
McMillan always back on the kickoff returns. He scored 2 touchdowns against Chilton County on returns earlier this year.
But, Kane, if you're the coaching staff of Stanhope-Elmore and you wanted to draw this first half up, how you'd want it to go, you couldn't ask for a better first half. When you are the team that's not favored, you've got to do things to keep yourself in the football game, and Stanhope has done everything that's asked of them and could go into with even a bigger lead at halftime.
Wetumpka will get the ball to start the second half. So
that's why it's important maybe to add some points here.
So it's going to be Anderson going back deep for Stanhope-Elmore. Punting will be Grindle for Wetumpka. Anderson standing right at midfield. It's a good kick. It's over Anderson's head. Best kick of the night for Grindle. It's going to roll dead down near the 31-yard line. So a very effective punt for the Indians.
Yeah, he flipped the field there. Did a good job. It's going to be difficult. Stanhope, obviously, though, has shown a really nice explosive passing game on that last drive. Couple big plays, aided by the pass interference call.
So Kerensky McGee, who didn't start tonight, came in on the 3rd possession. Back out there calling the signals. Looks like Burks is in the backfield. He's going to have McMillan, Anderson out there at receiver. Looks like Durham's also back there. They may just take a knee, it looks like. Take it to the half. Coach Bradford's going to say, hey, I got a bunch of guys injured right now. Let's just get to the half up 14-7. We don't necessarily have the best field position. Clock's not running. Now they finally started. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, and this is a good strategy when you are not favored and you're kind of the one that's kind of the underdog to come in. You're going to be guaranteed the lead going into halftime.
So 14-7, Mustangs lead it. Now the clock's – now there's a flag. Just a lot of – they're marching off sides maybe against Wetumpka. 12 men on the field is the call against the Indians. 12 men on the field.
Doesn't look like it's going to change the strategy. Well, yeah, now they're going to run something different. I mean, I would at least try to take a shot in the end zone if you've got one play left.
Anderson down here at the bottom of the screen with McMillan. McGee with Hall behind him in the backfield. Burks offset to the right. Hall's going to get it. Tries to get outside. He's dropped again by number 7, Darren Nolan for Wetumpka.
Man, Darren Nolan gets to the corner so fast. So explosive.
So that play should do it for the first half. It's been an exciting first half here from Foshee Henderson Stadium. Number 1 Wetumpka on the ropes with Stanhope-Elmore with the lead.
But you know what, Kane? This is kind of copied what they've done the last 3 games. They've come out slow, and we talked about it.
So it's halftime here from Foshee Henderson Stadium. Our score is Stanhope-Elmore 14, number 1 Wetumpka 7. We're going to take a timeout, come back, get stats, talk about some future games here on the Montgomery Sports Network. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number one goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590. MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery.
Yo, check 1, 2.
You asked for it, and now it's back.
Yup.
The new Yo at 100.5 on your dial. Classic hip hop from back in the days. Tom Joyner in the morning and classic hip hop all day.
Taking it back.
This is Yo music. This is Yo music. The new Yo is back. Now at 100.5 on your radio. The new Yo 100.5. Classic hip hop.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
Don't miss the gigantic floor model clearance sale now through Saturday at American Oak and More. Save up to 75%. Mirrors and latex pillows just $10. Rustic console was $11.88, now $3.99. Entertainment center was $35.08, now $6.99. Shop the clearance sale and save up to 75%. Be sure to check our Facebook page to see all clearance items. Interest-free financing available.
Like we've been saying for over 23 years, you don't pay with fake money, so don't settle for fake wood.
And welcome back to the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. It is number one Wetumpka trailing at the half to their rivals from Millbrook, Stanhope-Elmore by a score of 14-7. My name's Kane Young. I'm here with Daryl Dapprich. Daryl, exciting first half. A lot of our keys to the game have kind of shown themselves here throughout the first half.
Yeah, we've been a little prophetic. We've done some really good games this year. It seems like everything we do is very competitive, and there's been some really late game heroics, and this one looks like it has the makings of doing the same thing. If we talked about it, if you wanted to script this, if you're Coach Bradford for Stanhope-Elmore on how you'd want this game to go, it's exactly how you want it to go. On the other hand, Coach Perry looking for that quick start, the bugaboo that has really kind of ailed Wetumpka the last three games. They've come out slow. It's exactly what they've done tonight. Some of it's been self-inflicted, a scoop and score, the pass interference penalty there in the end zone. But give Stanhope credit because you've got to take advantage of those types of things. If it happens and you can't cash it in, it could be more detrimental than it can be beneficial. And so in this case, they've got 7 points off a turnover, and then they've got that big penalty where they converted and scored. And, again, this offense starts and ends with 2K McGee. They look like a completely different offense when he's in the game. Wetumpka's defense flying around the ball, really athletic and active on defense, but Stanhope has been able to get some sustained drives and move the ball and get some first downs.
And another issue in the first half, the injuries for Stanhope-Elmore, despite the fact that 3 key contributors on offense, Connor Bradford, Teddy Harris, and Trey Duncan, have all gone down here in the first half. The Mustangs still able to manufacture some points. Blake Durham coming in here with a couple catches and a touchdown. And they've really just been kind of piecing their drives together, but it's been effective. A good job by the coaching staff.
Yeah, Allie McMillan and Caden Anderson really got to step up in the second half. When you're 2 receivers down, you really got to step up, and they've kind of done well. But Durham's been the one that has come in 50-50 ball, made that it completely turned the game around, in my opinion. Wetumpka had all the momentum. They were up 7-6 to get off the field and get the ball again. And McGee throws it up, and Durham makes that catch on the 50-50 ball. And that flipped the script of this.
So we're going to take a quick time out here. At halftime, our score is Wetumpka trailing Stanhope-Elmore by a score of 14-7. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here in the Montgomery Sports Network.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in a field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
We're not your daddy's rock and roll station. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump. The only radio station in Montgomery playing new rock alternative. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery.
And welcome back to the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Stanhope-Elmore leads Wetumpka by a score of 14-7. As we'll take a moment to look at our first half stats. For Wetumpka, 8 first downs. It's all been all on the ground, Darryl. 144 on the ground, only 6 yards passing to this point for the Indians.
Can't get a passing game going. What did we say at the beginning of the game that Stanhope had to do as far as points allowed? Wow, was I wrong on my so far in the first half? I was like, I can't see this being a single-digit game. Part of the reason that it is because they've made Wetumpka very one-dimensional. When you're just running the ball, it's going to be very difficult to get explosive plays and to get high scores. So right now, they're playing right into the hands of Stanhope's defense.
And for Stanhope-Elmore, very balanced, 55 on the ground, 56 in the air. Those 56 yards in the air coming when McGee came into the game. 8 first downs. But I would say the biggest key for Stanhope-Elmore, only 3 penalties at this point, and they've all been the 5-yard variety.
Yeah, 2 things that have surprised me. No self-inflicted wounds for Stanhope. They've curbed that trend of penalties. And, you know, when you watch Wetumpka's defense play, you wonder how they give up 21 a game or 17 a game. And I'm starting to see that, little undisciplined on some, and they're susceptible to the big play. Stanhope having 14 first-half points and almost, 155 yards? You said 110 yards, you said, of offense. But it's balanced, and that's the key as well.
In the first half here, Stanhope-Elmore, this seemed like there were several occasions, especially on the go-ahead touchdown drive, where Wetumpka had a 3rd and long or 3rd down, about to get them off the field. The visiting fans are down in front of us making a lot of noise, and the Mustangs would convert somehow, and they turned that into points on that 80-yard touchdown drive.
Yeah, those are killer. If you got your opponent 3rd and long and your defense is playing that well, you have a chance to put points on the board before halftime and then get the second-half kickoff. That really swings the momentum of the game and turns it on a dime, and Stanhope, to their credit, just kept plugging away. Wetumpka had a couple of self-inflicted penalties, couldn't get off the field, and when you watch tape as a coach, those are the kind of things that make you want to throw something at the screen.
So we're here at halftime from Foshee Henderson Stadium. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network. You can follow us. Go to Facebook, like our page there. We have highlights, complete games. You can follow us on Twitter at MyMGM Sports. Go to YouTube, search Montgomery Sports Network. You can watch our game live there on the live stream if you have a Roku device at home or on your phone. If you're watching the game and you're off in the distance, far away, and somebody else wants to, hey, what's going on? They're texting you. Tell them to get to mymgmsports.com or go to YouTube and search as Montgomery Sports Network. We expect a barn burner second half, Darryl. We've had 4 straight games that have come down to virtually the last second, last play in some of them, and this one's shaping up for that here tonight.
Yeah, the question will be answered. Is Wetumpka, after another slow start, able to flip that switch coming out of the locker room and have an explosive second half? Because if they don't, Stanhope's got every opportunity to win this game.
So we're going to take a quick timeout here. Halftime, our score once again, it is Stanhope-Elmore 14, Wetumpka 7. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here in the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This is your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the Live Drive at 5, and Top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com. And on your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up 97.9 Jams.
And welcome back to Foshee Henderson Stadium, where the Mustangs lead the Indians 14-7 here at halftime. Take a moment here as the Pride of Millbrook band is out in the field. We had a game here 2 weeks ago, an exciting game between Shades Valley and Stanhope-Elmore, and our producer-director over here, Tommy House, ended up leaving his laptop on the ground outside. I should say he left it. Our crew left it somehow, some way. And let's give credit to the band and the Band Booster Club, Mr. Wesley Morris and Will Borfield and that whole crew over there. They found his laptop, called him. He was able to get it that night because there was so much valuable stuff in there. Another incident that same night, a relative of mine and my wife were at the game, and she ended up losing $100-some. They have a clear bag policy here at Foshee Henderson Stadium, and when they were cleaning the stadium, the Band Booster Club put a message out there on their Facebook page, and it was her money. She knew she lost it and was able to identify it, and they were able to give that back to her, too. That's just not something we see every day in our society, Darryl.
No, that's really 2 great stories, and, you know, I'm hoping I'm not the one that left the laptop bag out there outside that gate as we were moving stuff around, but that's a testament to this school, and what a great, you know, way to share that story, and it's a great way to to talk about your school that sometimes goes off the field as well. It's just as important.
Yeah, and that's not something you're going to see on the news or whatever, but we really appreciate that happening here on the Montgomery Sports Network. So back here again for this game. As we mentioned before, we were on a pregame show. We had some internet issues. Let's go back and talk about this region, Class 6A, Region 3. Wetumpka and Stanhope-Elmore, besides this being a rivalry game, as we mentioned on the outset, this is for first place in the region, both teams 2-0. Opelika, Benjamin Russell sitting there at 1-1, and Selma and Calera at 0-2. Only a 6-team region. 4 of these teams are going to get in the playoffs. And this game has a lot towards the region championship possibly, and obviously home field advantage.
Yeah, I think pretty much, even though you're halfway through the year, I think the 4 teams we could all say are pretty much predetermined who's going to get in. Now, the seeding of that is going to be interesting. And, of course, there's Opelika really is hoping Stanhope wins tonight, because then if they turn around and beat Stanhope, you get like a 3-way tie and all kind of crazy tiebreakers, but it allows them to have an opportunity. So, yeah, this region – if Stanhope holds on and upsets Wetumpka, this region becomes an absolute circus for the rest of the year.
And Stanhope-Elmore has to go to Wetumpka, go to Opelika on the 19th, I believe it is. They still have to go to Selma also. As you said, Opelika is the biggest Stanhope-Elmore fan right now. Wetumpka, if I remember correctly, it was a 3-way tie last year for their region, I believe. And Opelika was in there. And they ended up getting that 1 seed, and was such an advantage for them in the playoffs. Region 3 this year is matched up against Region 1, which is Mobile. That's Saraland, that's Daphne, that's Spanish Fort. Those teams are ranked in the top 10 in the state, and nobody wants to take a 3-hour bus ride down to Mobile to face one of them in round 1.
No, you definitely want to finish 1 or 2. And the interesting thing is either Opelika, Wetumpka, or Stanhope won't. So one of those 3 teams, just because of math, is not going to get a home playoff game, and can make all the. That's why these are such crucial games.
So other thing here, region championship on the line. Stanhope-Elmore for years, they have 18 region titles in about 50 years of football. Have not won a region title since 2004. So the opportunity out there for them tonight to take a major step forward, and for the first time in 14 years, maybe hang a flag here in the stadium or a banner, let them know they can win a region championship.
But what you do is you allow yourself to control your own destiny. That's all you can want as a coach and as a football team. You win this game tonight, you basically know if you're going on the road, take care of business against Opelika, you are in the driver's seat controlling your own destiny. That doesn't mean Benjamin Russell or Selma, can't slip up and beat you. We've got Wetumpka and Benjamin Russell next week, which would put a whole different emphasis on that game if the upset happens here tonight. Of course, we got a whole half of football. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but so far, I don't think, that 14-7 is right where Stanhope wants to be.
Okay, so we're at just about 3 minutes here till the teams get their warm-up here to start the second half. We're going to take one more timeout before the start of the third quarter. Once again, you're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here in the Montgomery Sports Network. It is Stanhope-Elmore 14, Wetumpka 7.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the live drive at 5, and Top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com. And on your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up. 97.9 Jams.
And we're back here at the Montgomery Sports Network. We'll check a few scores as time will allow here from Foshee Henderson Stadium. A lot of action across the state here. Smith Station trails Jeff Davis 7-3 at the half. Obviously, Stanhope-Elmore ahead of Wetumpka here on our broadcast. Some other local games, if we can find some scores here as we scroll our Twitter feeds, it looks like Pike Road, St. James up 21-0
wow,
over Pike Road down at Alabama State.
Yeah, that's a shocker right there.
We were down in Opelika ahead of Benjamin Russell 29-3 at the half.
And, their broadcast crew is really trying to get scores of this one. They're really interested in that. Interesting to see the Crampton Bowl game, maybe what the score is there.
Yeah, last night Prattville ended up beating Lee in the 7A game. And we have Carver Montgomery ahead of Northview down there tonight, 20-10. Carver Montgomery, 6-0. We've seen them play so far this year, and they're currently ranked number 11 in the state, just outside the top 10.
One of the best defenses I've seen live in high school football in quite some time.
Saraland, another school we just mentioned, from Region 1. Someone from this region is going to go down there and play a football game later in the year, but Saraland ahead of Gulf Shores 33-0 at the half. Spanish Fort and St. Paul's, two other teams from Region 1 that could be in the playoffs for one of these teams down the road. Spanish Fort leads St. Paul's late second quarter by a score of 7-0. Thompson all over Spain Park, 21-0. And Reeltown, Thorsby, number 5 in the state, and down in their classification 2A, trails Reeltown 7-6 late first half up there in Chilton County. So a lot of action taking place tonight. Next week we will be in Wetumpka for the Ben Russell Wetumpka game here on the Montgomery Sports Network. And as you said, Darryl, depending on what happens here tonight, that could be either A, for the region championship for Wetumpka, or B, fighting to stay in a potential first-place tie down the road.
Yeah, that's a great point. Look how big that is. If they can come back and then go beat Benjamin Russell next week, I think they'd have one more region game.
They have to play Selma, I believe, yet too.
But they would have it clinched with tiebreakers.
Yes.
So they would be the region champion and could get it crowned next week.
So Wetumpka hosts Ben Russell next week in Wetumpka. Then we'll see that game right here on mymgmsports.com. Then they go to Selma, and then they have Muscle Shoals. And this is something we talked about when we had Stanhope-Elmore against Shades Valley. Only 5 region games for these teams, and Coach Bradford and Coach Perry really had to go out and be creative and try to fill in that schedule.
Well, look at the game to me that's very interesting is that Stanhope-Greenville game to end the year. That's interesting at Greenville Tiger Stadium. So, obviously, their region, their playoff will be determined at that point. But that should be a really interesting game.
Yeah, Selma next week. Stanhope-Elmore goes to Selma, plays over Memorial Stadium, and then Opelika, they go on the road there on the 19th. Then they get a bye week, and then the Greenville game is actually on a Thursday night. And Carver, the team we just mentioned a few minutes ago, they barely beat Greenville down there. I think it was in week 2. They could just escape with a narrow victory. So that will be a highly contested game going into the playoffs there in the what amounts to week 11.
Yes,
for the Mustangs and for the Greenville Tigers. So have a little bit of delay here. We're trying to fill in. Stanhope-Elmore's out there stretching. I still don't see Wetumpka. The game clock says 11:27, but here at halftime, for some reason, the Wetumpka band either started late or they took too much time, and then Stanhope-Elmore's band was out there and the clock stopped. Well, they were finishing their performance, and now they usually have the mandated 3-minute warm-up, but we still have not seen the Indians make their way here onto the end zone to our right. Wetumpka dressing over here at the middle school behind us. We were actually on the visitor side this week at Foshee Henderson Stadium. A couple weeks ago, we were on the home side here when they took on Shades Valley. A couple first halftime stats in the game. Jones, the leading rusher for Wetumpka here in the first half, he had a lot of success out of that. Full house backfield, wildcat look with the defenders in the backfield with him, Adams and so forth.
He ran at will, went all the way down the field. He's the leading rusher in the football game right now for both teams. And they got out of that set when they got to about the 35-yard line and put Rawls back in at quarterback, and they kind of went right down the field and then got stalled in Stanhope territory.
So Jones for Wetumpka, he has 5 carries for 78 yards in the first half, by far the leading rusher. Stanhope-Elmore, it's really mixed and match on their no big play receivers, really. It's been all short stuff, but it's been effective. Each team's had some drops. That's been an issue in the first half, but Stanhope-Elmore really almost running back by committee here after Duncan went down with the injury. We've seen Hall get a few carries, Burks, Purnell. Of course, McGee's he's been the leading ball carrier. He's carried it 6 times for him so far tonight out of the quarterback position.
Makes it all the more impressive that Stanhope's been able to do this without any kind of semblance of a running game. I mean, they lost their 2 best running backs, and Wetumpka knows what's coming. They haven't been able to get the edge on Wetumpka, and yet here they are up 14-7 at halftime.
First half flags, Wetumpka was penalized 3 times for 25 yards. Stanhope-Elmore just 3 times for 15 yards. So looks like the Mustangs have gotten that area corrected. I take that back. There should be another penalty on Wetumpka. They had the one there on the kickoff return before half, so there's actually going to be tack on another 10 yards onto that total I just gave you of 25 yards. Should have been 4 for 35. But now the Indians are finally making their way back onto the field here. So Wetumpka, we talked about game pressure. Basically, it is one of our keys, and the Indians are smack dab in the middle of it here in a dogfight at Fochie Henderson Stadium.
Yeah, I've got to think that they're a little tight right now. I mean, they're the favorite. They're the number 1 team in the state. They got a bullseye on their back, and they're down by 7. So they've got to come out a little bit tight, and you don't want to play the game. You know, you got to play you can't play not to lose. But Wetumpka, that pressure we talked about. But, you know, the one thing they can draw on, and Coach Perry will tell them, is, look, guys, we've been in this situation the last 3 weeks in a row. It's familiar territory for us. We don't want to be in this situation, but you know what you can do. They do get the ball to start the second half. Key position for the Indians.
And last week against Prattville, they scored 4 touchdowns on 4 plays, and we're talking 61 yards. I mean, these were just long. It wasn't like they got the ball on the 3-yard line and scored on 1-play drive. These were long, just athletic, plays by their playmakers, Rogers and Jones and Thomas. So they need some more of that here in the second half, especially out of the receivers. The
reputation that Coach Perry had, even when he was at ACA, although he didn't have the kind of horses that he has here, is he's always been very, very good at adjustments, halftime adjustments. I know some of the guys that coached under him at ACA, that played under him at ACA, and he's really he's used his halftime to come out and make adjustments. It's been evident in the last 3 games. Now, will Coach Bradford counter and make some adjustments? Because what Stanhope's doing defensively in the first half, for the most part, is working.
Yeah, Stanhope-Elmore, we talked about only giving up 6 points in region games so far, only giving up 7 here in the first half. We kind of had that number around 24 or so we thought they needed to keep Wetumpka at. They're obviously on the way to that right now, but they're going to have to get off to a quick start here in the third quarter and try to keep the Indians at bay. Other thing we see out here in the first half, we talked about flags. Stanhope-Elmore well over the century mark in flags on the 2 contests we watched. That was also an issue last week at Smith Station. They've done a good job cleaning that up tonight, not beating themselves with turnovers or flags.
Yeah, but the team that hasn't, Wetumpka, has been the polar opposite of that. That one kickoff being an example of that block in the back, and then the personal foul, unnecessary roughness, which really got them out of great field position and could have got called, in my opinion, catch-kick interference that they didn't call. That would have been another 15 yards in flip field position a little bit.
So the Mustangs are out on the field. Wetumpka finishing their warm-ups here. They got out here a little bit later. Last year on the Montgomery Sports Network, we had a couple Wetumpka games against Carver. That was a nip-and-tuck game in the first half, and Wetumpka kind of turned it on in the second half. We had the Spanish Fort game where at one point that game was 21-21, and then Wetumpka just exploded in the second half, much like they did last week against Prattville. So you got to figure this first possession, these first 5-6 minutes of this third quarter are going to be critical for Stanhope-Elmore to try to not let what Wetumpka traditionally does here the last 2 years just go crazy in the third quarter.
Yeah, they're definitely body language, which I'm a big believer in, especially coming out of halftime. If things don't go your way, Wetumpka doesn't look like they're sulking or pounding at all. They look fired up, ready to play the second half.
So Wetumpka will get the ball to start the third quarter. They will receive. The Mustangs opened the game on offense, went 3 and out, but then scored immediately on the scoop and score to take a lead. Wetumpka answered with their own 80-yard drive to reclaim the lead 7-6, and the Mustangs late second quarter got the touchdown pass from Kerensky McGee to Blake Durham down on a 5-yard touchdown in the corner of the end zone, and they lead a 14-7 on the 2-point play. Allie McMillan made a super catch on the other corner. So here we go. It's going to be, looks like Thomas is going to go back deep for Wetumpka, along with Davis to the 2 deepest men. We also see number 17 out there. It's going to be Brandon Bowman for Wetumpka.
I have a feeling, though, Kane, if Wetumpka wants to get explosive plays and get a lot of points on the board in the second half, they're going to have to throw the football more effectively. The passing game is going to have to come into play.
So Presetti going to tee it up here, kick it off for the Mustangs as they are huddled up right now on the 40-yard line. Packed house here at Foshee Henderson Stadium. No seats available here on this visitor side. A lot of people standing down the rail. Same on the Mustangs side. Pretty full over there. Down in the concession stand, a lot of people standing along the rail. So big crowd here tonight. If you're sitting at home watching us, we thank you here as the second half gets underway on the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week. And that ball is going to roll out of bounds, and that is not what Coach Bradford wants here to start the second half.
No, that's the last thing in the world you want to do when you're up 14-7 and you've got Wetumpka kind of where you want them, a little bit shell-shocked in the first half. Now you give them an opportunity with great field position, and it probably changes their whole offensive game plan.
So 1st and 10 for the Indians. Are going to spot it at the 35-yard line. That's really one of the better field position Wetumpka's had. They had a lot of possession start inside their own 10-yard line. Some good punting by the Mustangs as Thomas and Jones are going to come out there with Rawls in the backfield to start this possession. As Rawls calls out signals now, the Indians turn to the sideline. I got two coaches sending in plays. One of them obviously a decoy. We're going to throw it here on the near side. It's going to complete to Rogers. The nice stiff arm there by Rogers. He makes one man miss. And then there's some contact here. Now a late flag coming in, almost like the visiting crowd made that call.
Yeah, I was wondering if the flag was going to come out, but the Wetumpka sideline and the fans went ballistic when he was out of bounds. And he was out of bounds. He was 2 or 3 yards out of bounds, and he got hit. And there's that bugaboo, the penalty flag, right there for Stanhope.
So 15-yard penalty, dead ball, personal foul out of bounds. And Wetumpka all of a sudden in Mustang territory at the 40-yard line. And they've only run one play here at the start of this third quarter. Rogers on the reception. That was his first of the night. Just a little simple pitch and catch out here to the near side. This time Thomas in the backfield with Rawls. Thomas offset to the right. 2 receivers each side. They're going to motion to hand this off. It's going to be number 14 trying to get the corner over there for Wetumpka. That's going to be Murphy. Murphy finally gets out of bounds after a gain of about 7 or 8 on the play.
Nice jet sweep that time. He does get the corner. Shows great speed, does Murphy. And now Wetumpka's got it rolling here to start the second half.
Give him 5 yards officially where they marked him out at, so it'll be 2nd and 5 at the 35 for the Indians. Shuffling players in and out. Looks like Barclay's going to come back in. He usually plays at the H spot for the Indians. Thomas staying out there in the backfield with Rawls. This time he's lined up behind the quarterback. Thomas gets it right side, and not much happening there that time. Stanhope-Elmore defense making the stand. The initial contact going to be number 9, Cordell Love.
Yeah, Cordell Love just not respecting the fact that Rawls may take it and go with it. He was playing the running back the whole time, playing Terrence Thomas. And now it's more predictable situation here.
So 3rd and 5. This time Jones is in the backfield with Rawls. Offset to his left. Going to roll the pocket near side here. Looking for Rogers. Throw complete to Rogers. Makes the grab, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. Nice pitch and catch on the first down for Wetumpka.
Yeah, Wetumpka's got to find a way to get the ball to Rogers more. They couldn't do it in the first half. Of course, he had a drop. But get the ball in one of your playmakers' hands. They've done that now on 2 plays that have picked up big yardage for the Indians.
So 1st and 10, they're going to spot the ball at the 22-yard line. Last play gained 14 on the first down for the Indians. Jones stays in the game at running back with Rawls. Here comes a blitz. Rawls trying to run it, and now it's going to cut it back. Has some room here across the 20. Racing towards the 10. At a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He's in for the touchdown.
That's a case right there, Kane, of just over pursuit. Stanhope called the blitz. They thought they had Rawls bottled up. When he changed direction and cut it back across the field, there was nothing but green.
So Rawls on the 22-yard touchdown run, and the all-important extra point coming up here for Wetumpka with the opportunity to tie the game.
And if you're Wetumpka, that's exactly what you needed to do to come out in the second half.
So Grindle on to attempt the kick. 10-16 left here. Quick start for the Indians. Snap, spots down, the kick is up, and it is good. So our new score, 10-16 left, third quarter. Wetumpka 14, Stanhope-Elmore 14. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week.
Montgomery's best country is on Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Bama Country with Bubba and Christy every weekday morning 5:30 to 10 a.m.
We're gonna have a house party.
Bama Country, playing today's best country and all the country legends. Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Listen to Bama Country 98.9 WBAM.
So a quick start for Wetumpka in the third quarter, just like last week across I-65 in Prattville. Tyquan Rawls with the 22-yard score, and we're all knotted up here, Darryl.
Well, if you're Wetumpka, when you went in at halftime and you're Coach Perry, you're telling the Indians, look, we've been here before, but this drive to start the second half is huge. Let's put our imprint on it and our identity, and that's exactly what Wetumpka did. Now, let's see if Stanhope can answer, or has Wetumpka grabbed the momentum back from the Mustangs?
So McMillan back deep along with Marlon Hunt. Marlon Hunt replacing Teddy Harris, who was injured early in the game. A number of injuries here in the early going for the Mustangs on offense. And it looks like Hunt's going to get an opportunity to return this. Is actually his back foot. The other guy bring it out. They didn't call him back there. Hunt works left side, and he's not going to make it back to the 20. He's dropped that down quickly about the 17 for Wetumpka.
Yeah, they would have caught a break if they would have called him down or touched back in the end zone. But as it is, they start at the 15.
Yeah, it looked like he had a foot in the end zone when he called it, but they did not give the touchback. So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, 10:07, third quarter. We saw Stanhope-Elmore answer the scores in the first half. The offense really has to step up, at least move the football and get a couple first downs here. As McGee comes in at quarterback. Looks like Hall's back in the game at running back. They're going to give it to him on the first carry, and there's nothing happening there on first down.
Flag.
Oh, late flag comes in. I think that might be on Wetumpka.
I do too, and that's just undisciplined. It's that taunting and that late hit stuff.
Yeah, they're going to march it off. Extracurricular activity against the Indians, 15 yards and a first down.
It kills you when you score a touchdown to tie it up. You make a great defensive stop on first down, and now what you've done is you've given Stanhope more pulse.
So Xavier Hall back in there. That's good to see. Connor Bradford also back in there. He's on the far wide of the side of the field along the sideline for the Mustangs. That's good to see. Anderson and McMillan at the bottom of our screen.
And new quarterback. Is that Powers? Yes, that's
Powers. Checks in here. Powers going to look to throw. Out there. It is complete to number 22 on the little quick out route. That is Durham on the reception for positive yardage on first down.
Durham's got 3 catches for over 50 yards, which he's really has come in and stepped up big. Next man up for the Mustangs.
So it's going to be 2nd and 3 at the 39. Powers makes the pass there. Nice job setting his feet, getting the throw out there. Bradford out far left. McMillan and Anderson at the bottom of the screen. They're going to hand us off. It looks like Hall right side. He's close to the marker. Driven back. But from the near side official, he's going to have a first down.
Yeah, the mark says he did. He got enough. Just with a little lunge, a little surge there. And Stanhope comes out, aided by a Wetumpka penalty, and picks up 2 quick first downs.
Well, I say that. They got third down here, but if I'm looking at the sticks, it looks like he has it. I'd almost have to ask for a measurement if I was Coach Bradford. That ball looks like it's just lined up even with the sticks. Nevertheless, 3rd and inches. Powers stays in the quarterback. And now we got a whistle from the far side official. Someone on the coaching staff for the Mustangs trying to point out that looks like a first down. I'm just calling it like I see it. That spot looks like he has a first down. Now the head official walks up.
I mean, all you got to do is go past the 42, and they are.
I just can't believe that none of the officials just looked to the sideline to even when the ball was spotted. It was just like, let's go with it, and here we are. They got a measurement.
I say they get it by a half a football.
So they'll bring the chains out. Clock stop, 8:35 left, third quarter. Number 1 Wetumpka tied with their longtime rival Stanhope-Elmore at 14. They're going to stretch the chain. And I'm going to have to get the NFL card, put the credit card in there. It is a first down for the Mustangs, according to the PA announcer. I never saw on the sign, the official signal that, but it is a, well, they're still walking over the chains. The down marker says 3, but the chains are going and setting up for first down. So we'll go first down here. They got to change the down marker. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. As Hall's in the backfield with Powers. Low snap. Powers picks it up. Falls forward for maybe 1, and that's it.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous. To even get a yard out of that is big for Stanhope. 2nd and 9, now an obvious throwing situation for the Mustangs.
Clock ticks towards 8 minutes, 3rd quarter. Class 6A Region 3 action tied at 14 here on the Montgomery Sports Network. As Powers offsets Hall to his left this time. Powers going to look to put it up in the air. Throws out there far side. That's going to be complete again to Durham for about 5 yards, bringing up a very 3rd down and manageable here for Stanhope-Elmore.
It's a safe kind of West Coast offense type throw, 5 yards, sit down, hitch route. Throws it where only Durham could get it and can't be picked off.
3rd down, we'll call it 5 from the 48 for the Mustangs. The Wetumpka fans on their feet here on the near side. A lot of noise here at Fochie-Henderson Stadium. Powers looks, throws, going down the sideline, and he has Durham again racing in for the touchdown. And the Mustangs answer just like that.
That's a huge touchdown for Stanhope. It looked like Wetumpka had all the momentum, and give Powers all kind of credit. He comes in, and Durham, what a find he has been for Stanhope. The key to that, they did a great job protecting Powers to let that play develop and that route to get run.
So our new score, 20-14. 7:16 left, 3rd quarter. Wetumpka came out with a quick score. The Mustangs answer right back as Hall's going to do the holding here for Presetti. High snap to get it down. Kicks up. And it's good. So our new score here, 7:16 left, 3rd quarter. It is the Mustangs 21, the Indians 14. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com.
So here we are, Stanhope-Elmore 21, Wetumpka 14, number 1 on the ropes here as we head towards the 7-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. What an answer by the Mustangs, Darryl.
That's a big answer, and that answers the question of whether or not, when Wetumpka looked like they grabbed the momentum, could Stanhope come right back? And to put 21 points up on this defense with halfway through the 3rd quarter, is especially with 2 of your big offensive weapons out.
So back deep, Terrence Thomas for Wetumpka, along with Malik Davis. He's been rather quiet tonight. Davis had some scores the other week for the Indians. Presetti's kick is away. Thomas comes up, gets it at the 10. He's going to work to the near side, has some room here. Oh, big tackle there at the 30-yard line as he is dropped. Big play, big hit for Stanhope-Elmore. That was number 21 on the hit. That was Quintarius Edwards.
Yeah, he ran right into Edwards. It looked like he had a lane, and Thomas ran right into him, and it was a great tackle.
So 1st and 10 for Wetumpka on their own 30-yard line. Rawls is going to come out here, quarterback. It looks like they're going to empty the backfield to start out with here. In fact, they're going to stack 4 receivers over there in a little diamond set on the far side. Rawls is going to throw it out there. Complete. And having some room there again for Wetumpka is number 17, Brandon Bowman on the reception. He's going to pick up about 20 yards and a 1st down.
Young receiver for Wetumpka that they're high on. He's a sophomore, getting a little bit of playing time. That's a great call on 1st down, get him in some isolation, some space.
But there's a flag apparently on the far side of the field.
A hold, it looks like. And this crowd's going to go nuts.
Yeah. Holding on Wetumpka. So that play goes for naught. A loss of 10. They'll bring up 1st and 20.
Well, Wetumpka's been the team in this game, Kane, that's been undisciplined. Penalties that have hurt them on defense and on offense.
So 1st and 10, they're going to mark that, check that. They're going to mark it all the way back to the 18-yard line, so it's 1st and 22. It's a spot foul. This time they go empty again. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Thomas comes in motion. They fake the handoff. Rawls pulls it right side, tries to get the corner, has some blocking out there. Finally dragged out of bounds after a positive yardage of about 10 yards on the play.
Yeah, you got half of it back on one play and got right back to where you are now. You're maybe 2nd and 12, 2nd and 10. Yeah, you got 12 on that on 1st down.
So 2nd down and 12 for the Indian. Check that, 2nd and 10. You're correct. 6:34 and counting here, 3rd quarter. As we see Barclay move back into the backfield in the slot. Rawls is going to toss it. Thomas trying to come near side. He is met immediately and dropped as Hardy made the initial contact for Stanhope-Elmore.
Yeah, good defense that time for Stanhope, stringing that play out. Nowhere to go for Thomas, and this brings up a big 3rd down.
3rd down and 11. Last play lost a yard. Number 1 here. Trails midway 3rd quarter, 21-14. Stanhope-Elmore leads it. Thomas stays in the backfield. Rawls going to look to put it up in the air. They're setting up a screen pass. Thomas has it. He has some blockers. Nice job setting it up for Wetumpka. He's going to be close. He's pushed forward. He's going to have the 1st down. A great call by the Wetumpka staff.
Yeah, and a great job that time by Thomas not going down. He knew exactly where the yard marker was, where the stick was, and picked up the 1st down for the Indians, a crucial 1st down.
So they're going to mark it officially at the 43. Last play gained 14. And a 1st down for the Indians as they are trying to match that score by Stanhope-Elmore. This time, very deliberate pace here by Wetumpka after the 1st down.
They got Rogers again down at the bottom.
Thomas and Jones in the backfield here for the Indians. But Rawls is going to put it up. He's trying to hit Rogers over here. Rogers comes back, makes a nice adjustment to the football, makes the grab at the 25. Stutter steps, working to the right. Still on his feet down to the 22-yard line. What a catch, what an adjustment by Rogers.
Well, that ball was way underthrown, but Rogers saw it. He was one-on-one, and because that ball was underthrown, he was able to come back and get it. He's been the playmaker for them in the second half. Got to get him the ball more.
So Rogers on the reception, 35 yards, and the Indians are down at the 23-yard line. 5 minutes exactly left here, 3rd quarter. Clock running. It's been the air game here in the 3rd quarter for Wetumpka for the moment. Rawls going to hand this off. Thomas. He's dropped immediately in the backfield for Stanhope-Elmore. Number 94, Theodore Jackson on the play.
Yeah, Theodore Jackson blew that play up from the get-go. You almost would like to see maybe Rawls pull that, but they did not fool Jackson, and that's a big loss.
2nd and 15. Ball marked back at the 28-yard line. 4.5 counting 3rd quarter here from Foshee Henderson Stadium. Looks like Wetumpka's going to put 2 receivers on each side. Malik Davis in the slot here with Rogers at the bottom of the screen. Jones, the running back. They fake the handoff to Davis. Rawls looks, throwing on the wheel route over here. He's looking for his man out of the backfield. That was number 14 he was trying to find on the wheel route. It falls incomplete. He was looking for Tavares Murphy.
Yeah, and Murphy was wide open for a touchdown, Kane. If he just throws, even if he underthrows it and picks up 15 yards, but he overshot him, and that was a scoring opportunity gone bad right there.
Clock stopped, 4:10 left. So 3rd down and 15 for Wetumpka. Have to think they probably have 2 downs to pick this up at the moment.
They could. They got a good kicker, though. They got a good kicker in Grindle, and, I mean, there's still time left in the 3rd quarter. So if you get half of it back, you're in field goal range.
They're going to have to hurry. Play clock's at 5 seconds. 4 receivers to the far side, 3 seconds. Rawls gets it. It's going to be a straight quarterback draw. Tries to bounce it out towards the right. He's met by a host of Mustangs after a short gain, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
He kind of tippy-toed through the line that time, Kane. He didn't run with any kind of authority, and because of that, nothing opened up.
So it's 4th down and about 12. Offense on the field at the moment. It'd be about a 42-yard field goal from here. Thomas checking back into the game for the Indians.
They ran the screen play last time course, it was third down, not fourth down, that they had to get this many yards.
Davis out there, play clock at 9, at 8. They're going to have to hurry up.
Called
timeout. They're going to get a timeout taken by Wetumpka. So we'll take a quick timeout with them here. Third quarter, 3:28 left. Stanhope-Elmore 21, Wetumpka 14. You're watching the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company, and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
#1 Wetumpka facing a 4th and 12 at the Stanhope-Elmore 25-yard line, excuse me. As it's Class 6A Region 3 matchup, both teams in this contest undefeated in region play. And right now, a lot of interested eyes over in East Alabama and Opelika on this one. Thomas and Jones in the backfield. They got Johnson out to the right with formation with Davis. Rogers down here at the bottom, one-on-one. Rawls going to look to throw. He's looking in Rogers' direction, can't find anybody. A lot of time, now he's under heavy pressure. He steps back. Can't escape. The Mustangs have him cornered in. He escapes one man, though, and he's got to be dropped for no gain, and there's got to be a turnover and down. A great stand for Stanhope-Elmore.
Yeah, they had number 15, Johnson, open in the corner of the end zone, but Rawls just couldn't get it to him because Stanhope's defense was so swarming. He made a couple guys miss, but could not make 4. He was like a magician to get to where he got. But big defensive stand by the Mustangs as they take over on downs.
So here we go for the Mustangs with the ball in a 7-point lead. Powers and Hall. Powers a quarterback, Hall a running back here for the Mustangs. Hall's going to get it. Tries to come near side. There's just nothing happening there. Colton Adams on the stop for Wetumpka.
Yeah, Stanhope can't go conservative, Kane. They can't get into a shell. They're going to have to. The passing game, especially to Durham, has been very effective. They're going to have to air it out. And they can't go into a shell right here.
So 2nd and 10. Clock runs. 2:45 left, third quarter. A lot of game left. Bradford out far left with Durham. Anderson in the slot with McMillan here on the near side for the Mustangs. Powers going to look to throw. He hits Anderson on a little screen pass near side. It's going to pick up some positive yardage out across the 30. It's going to bring up about 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, Allie McMillan that time knew that the screen was coming to him. He was leaning a little bit. He kind of tipped it. But that's a nice 5-yard gain, manageable.
So 3rd down. Call it 6 officially. 2:10 in the clock running here. Big play for the Wetumpka defense. They have been unable to get the Mustangs off the field several times tonight. As we go trips to the far side. Powers looks, throws. It's deflected and intercepted for Wetumpka. That's going to be number 7 with a big interception there off the deflection for the Indians. That is Darren Nolan. And did he fumble the ball?
They're
on the tackle.
They're saying
down.
He did.
The near side official said he was down over here, but now the head official comes in. Wetumpka has several coaches out in the field. Stanhope pointing the ball in their favor.
What a big moment in this football game.
Still no official call from the referees at the moment. They're still having a conversation, ordering both teams back to their sidelines. It is Wetumpka's football. So the Indians get their first turnover of the night. It was Darren Nolan off the deflection.
And, you know, I can't remember who the receiver was. It may have been McMillan, but he was open. If that ball's not deflected, he's open on the slant.
Yeah, they had a receiver open that time.
For
the
a
Mustangs
big first
did.
down, yes.
And the deflected pass, Nolan comes up with the Johnny on the spot. And Wetumpka was just had their backs against the wall a moment ago. Has the ball 1st and 10 at the 36 of Stanhope-Elmore. 1:51 left here, third quarter. As they're going to go with the Wildcat look here. Looks like Jones back there with Adams and Lucas. Now they're going to flip the formation. Jones taking it, trying to work to the right. Has those linemen in front of him. He has the corner. There goes Jones towards the right sideline. He's going to have a first down for Wetumpka down inside the 25.
That's an effective alignment. They've executed that play really, really well, and it churns up a lot of yards for Wetumpka.
So 1st and 10 at the 23, a minute 30, and they did not stop the clock that time. It kept running on first down.
It's unbelievable.
So here we go again. Jones is still in the backfield. This time he's going to try the left side. Had a hit after a short gain down to the 20.
I like this formation. The only thing about it is you're taking Rogers out of the game, who's made some big plays for you.
2nd and 7 as we go to the final minute of the third quarter. Number 1 Wetumpka trails Stanhope-Elmore, the 50th renewal of this longtime rivalry here in Elmore County. Play clock at 18. And now we got a whistle and a timeout taken by
Wetumpka. And that's 2 crucial timeouts that they may need later on in the game, Kane.
So let's keep it right here as we have 45 seconds officially left third quarter. Wetumpka trails 21-14 to Stanhope-Elmore. The Mustang defense has made several stands tonight. You know, their backs are really against the wall right now here on this drive.
And I'm confused as to why you take a timeout with 18 seconds left on the play clock. I mean, they had time to get a play in. Now you're down to 1 timeout. You're not even in the fourth quarter yet in a ball game that you're down 7 that could be late.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 for Wetumpka.
How much time's left?
45 seconds left third quarter. So 45 seconds left third quarter. We're blocked out here on the left side with here in the press box on the visitors. So we'll try to keep you up to date on time as best we can as the Indians come out of the timeout. Rawls is back there with Terrence Thomas in the backfield. Trips to the far side. Thomas gets the handoff this time. And he's going to be spun around for no gain. He's going to lose yardage actually on the play.
That's so dangerous when you get spun around like that, Kane. When someone comes in and hits you blindside, the ball comes loose.
So 3rd down. We don't have number 90 for Stanhope-Elmore on our roster. He made the tackle. It's 3rd down and 9. Clock ticking now. They don't have to run another play if they don't want to, as the game clock is down to 17 seconds. Play clock at 22. But they're going to try to get one off here. Rawls still in the formation, trips. Looks to throw. Hits to Rogers on the slant. Rogers at the 5, down to the side of 5 to the 3-yard line. A nice throw and catch for Wetumpka.
You know, keep saying that. I know I sound like a broken record, but he's a big play receiver. Get the ball in his hands. I think it's his 5th catch in the second half, 4th catch in the second half. So really, he's changed the field.
And that play will bring us to 000 here at the end of the third quarter. Another barn burner here on the Montgomery Sports Network. It is Stanhope-Elmore 21, number 1 Wetumpka 14. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their number 1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
97.9 Jams, the new home of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show.
Hey, what up? This is your boy Ricky Smiley from the Ricky Smiley Morning Show on my new home, Montgomery, the Gump. ASU, what's up?
Throwback Quickie Mix at noon, the live drive at 5, and top 5 at 9. Your favorite jams are on now. Drake, Rihanna, T.I., Nicki Minaj, Chris Brown, and Beyonce are all at 979jams.com. On your radio at 97.9. Tune in and turn up. 97.9 Jams.
You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. If you know somebody wants to know what's going on, get them to our website, mymgmsports.com, or go to YouTube and search Montgomery Sports Network. This game coming down to the wire. Wetumpka has a 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
I wonder if we've got any Opelika visitors or viewers of this game.
Yeah, Opelika had a huge lead on Benjamin Russell at the half.
But at their game, checking in on this one.
So Jones in the backfield, they're going to flip the formation. They're going to overload the line there on the left side. They got them outnumbered, and I think Stanhope-Elmore wisely takes a timeout as they flip several linemen. Check that. Stanhope-Elmore jumped offside on the movement. So that's going to move a half the distance to the goal. A nice adjustment there by Coach Perry and the staff with the lineman flipping.
Yeah, when you flip that line and go to that side, all you got to do is run quarterback draw left side, and he could have walked in.
So D'Angelo Jones back there with two defenders, Adams and Lucas in the backfield. Jones gets a snap, works left, trying to get outside, cuts it up, he's in for the touchdown. First play of the fourth quarter, Wetumpka answers. It is now 21-20 with the all-important extra point to come.
Buckle up, we got another one, and this is an all-important extra point. Wetumpka gets the turnover and comes back and ties the game again. And can Stanhope keep reaching deep to keep getting ahead?
So Grindle on to do the extra point. Malik Davis is the holder. Snap, spot, kick up. And it's a new ball game. We are all tied at 21 here on the Montgomery Sports Network with Wetumpka and Stanhope-Elmore. You're watching the game of the week, the EXTERMITECH Pest Control game of the week. We'll be back in just a moment.
Good morning, Alabama.
How'd you sleep last night?
Don't miss the gigantic floor model clearance sale now through Saturday at Wolf Boys Bedding. Pillows and mattress protectors just $10. 50% off Sutherland floor models. 50% off floor model adjustable bases. And save up to $1,000 on qualified Jameson sets. Don't miss the gigantic floor model clearance sale now through Saturday at Wolf Boys Bedding. Don't count sheep, get a great night's sleep from Wolf Boys Bedding next to American Oak and More.
Welcome back to Foshee Henderson Stadium. 21-21. 50th game between Wetumpka and Stanhope-Elmore, and it's turning into a classic here. 6A Region 3, first place on the line with number 1 Wetumpka trying to keep that ranking against their rivals from Millbrook. These two schools separated by about 15 minutes on Highway 14, as it looks like Marlon Hunt and McMillan back deep for the Mustangs, as the Indians cashed in that turnover for 7 points to tie it all up. And Grindles kicks away. McMillan gets it at the 5. Has some room coming near side. Stutter steps. Now it opens up for him on the right side. Wetumpka's able to close it up at the last second as he gets out near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to break. It could have broke, and that was a good return that time by McMillan. Stanhope gets good field position to start this drive.
So, Darryl, we've seen a lot of different stars tonight for Stanhope-Elmore. They got to find a way to manufacture some points again here early in the fourth quarter. Who do you go to at this point? They kind of exhausted a lot of options.
Durham has been so huge for them. He has come in, number 22. You've got Bradford back in the game now on a kind of a gimpy ankle.
McMillan out to the far right. Anderson in the slot. Durham in the slot on the near side here. They're going to go in motion. They fake the handoff to McMillan, and the quarterback's going to keep it that time. Moving forward, I believe it was Powers on the carry. It was for a couple yards, maybe 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, I guess McGee must be hurt. He really must be, because they want him in this situation. But Powers, give him credit. He's come in and done a good job. Nice job for Stanhope.
And number 1, Colton Adams, just lost his helmet. He has to come out for a play.
That's huge. 2nd and 5.
Xavier Hall in the backfield. He's gotten most of the carries tonight from the running back position after Duncan got hurt early on. Oh, a little confusion in the backfield that time. The ball is loose on the ground. It's picked up by Wetumpka, or they're rolling him down. They're rolling the quarterback Powers down. But nevertheless, it's a huge loss on the play and bring up 3rd down and long for Stanhope-Elmore.
Another helmet comes off for Wetumpka. They've got to just really buckle up the chin straps. Too many helmets flying off. But that's a great defensive play that time by Wetumpka to really stop Powers at the line of scrimmage.
11 minutes left in this contest in regulation. And the Wetumpka fans on the near side chanting defense and bringing those cowbells. Bradford in the slot far side with Anderson and McMillan. Powers going to look to throw. He's going over there on the wheel route looking for Hall, and it goes incomplete. That was almost adjusted to and intercepted by the Wetumpka defense.
Yeah, he broke on the ball. If that ball's thrown up the sideline, Kane, the Stanhope receiver might still be running Hall. But as it is, Stanhope's got a punt, and Wetumpka finally gets that all-elusive stop to get the ball back.
Looked like Devontae Gerardo on the coverage for Wetumpka. Fourth down, or punting situation for the Mustangs, and Malik Davis goes back deep. And in to do the kicking, it looks like Burks for Stanhope-Elmore. Nice kick. Davis going to try to field. That's dangerous. I think it touched him. I think the Mustangs have the football. They're pointing in that direction. It is Stanhope-Elmore football at the 45-yard line.
Huge special teams play. We talked about Stanhope's got special teams on the return game, but who would have thought it with the punt? And that is just not a very smart decision that time by Malik Davis trying to field that punt. Now they're talking, and I wonder if they're talking about catch interference. It shouldn't be because he ran right into the defender.
So it is going to be Mustang football. New life for Stanhope-Elmore. The Wetumpka defense right back out on the field. And Kerensky McGee has checked back into the game here with Xavier Hall. Bradford at the bottom of the screen with Durham. Anderson in the slot to the right with McMillan Farr at the top of the screen. McGee takes it himself, works right side for some positive yardage down to about the 42.
McGee gives them that dimension of being able to not key just on the running back cane. He keeps them honest. Now he comes out of the game.
They got one play out of him. He's having to come out. Powers comes back in. So it's a good pickup of 3 on first down for Stanhope-Elmore. They just need that positive yardage on first down. Powers back in. Hall offset to the right. Play clock still has 10 seconds. Powers looking to throw. He's going to dump it off to Hall out of the backfield. Hall makes the grab across the 40. It's Colton Adams there in the open field to make the tackle, bringing up a third down and short.
And that was dangerously close to a roughing the passer that time on Wetumpka. They hit Powers well after he let the ball loose.
Third down and about 2 for the Mustangs. They have to get to the Wetumpka 35-yard line. Mustangs going to go trips to the near side on this occasion. Powers still calling the signals. Now they check to the sidelines. Play clock still has 15, 9:15 left in the game. They'll stay with the trips. Powers takes it. Quarterback run to the right side. There's going to be a face mask penalty on Wetumpka, and it's going to be an automatic first down.
Oh, he ripped his helmet off. And I think if you get a penalty called on you, you don't have to come out of the football game.
Yes, I believe you're correct about that.
If it's a face mask and you rip the helmet off, you do not have to come out for a play. But another costly penalty on Wetumpka.
So 15 yards on Wetumpka. That is their third big penalty here in the second half. Second half, 3 penalties for 40 yards on Wetumpka.
When they look back at this tape, they're going to look back at so many missed opportunities. The fumble, pass interference, the face mask there.
9:02 left third quarter. Hall stays in the backfield. Hall gets it, works the right side. Not much happening there. He was almost suplexed that time. Looked like number 73 for Wetumpka on the tackle. That was Ja'Cory Murphy.
Murphy with a good job. You know, you watch this Wetumpka defense and you shake your head on how they give up big plays because they look so athletic and so how they pursue the football.
Officially a gain of 1 on the play for Hall. Second and 9. Play clock still has 10 on it. Powers going to look to throw. He's looking over the middle for Anderson. Anderson runs it over. He dives. It's caught for the touchdown.
Wow, what a throw. What a catch by Anderson. We talked about somebody stepping up, and he does just that over the shoulder.
So it is a 21-yard touchdown reception for Caden Anderson, and the Mustangs reclaim the lead off the turnover.
What a football game. What a game.
And Presetti will come on for the extra point here as that score sends the homestands into a frenzy. 8:15 left in this contest. Wetumpka was about to get the football back. They muffed the punt, and Stanhope-Elmore catches it in. And Wetumpka just jumped offside. They were coming after that one quickly.
Yeah, they were trying to guessed the snap count, and Jones guessed wrong.
So move it up 1.5 yards.
No sooner was it out of our mouth that Wetumpka did what they had to do and had an opportunity to get the ball to go with the lead, did they fumble the punt.
So 8:15 left, 27-21 for the moment for the Mustangs. Looks like Stanhope-Elmore declines it. They're just going to kick it from the normal spot.
Wow.
So Persetti will try to line it up again here. Snap, spot. Persetti's kick is up. Puts it over the field house, and it is good. New score, 8:15 left. Stanhope-Elmore 28, Wetumpka 21. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown.
So welcome back to Foshie Henderson Stadium. Stanhope-Elmore has number 1 Wetumpka on the ropes here as they lead at 28-21. Another barn burner here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We've had 4, this will be the 5th straight week we've had a game come right down to the wire. MyMGMSports.com, or go to YouTube and search Montgomery Sports Network. Go to our Facebook page and like us there, or follow us on Twitter at MyMGMSports. As Terrence Thomas back deep for Wetumpka. He's going to take this one near side at about the 4-yard line. Comes near side across the 20. Dropped at the 25. That's where the Indians will set up shop.
Good kick coverage by Stanhope. Every time that Thomas has the ball, you think you kind of hold your breath, thinking he's got that seam. Stanhope-Elmore's done a great job of closing those running lanes.
So here we go. Number 1 trails on the road. Probably the toughest environment they faced all year, I would say.
I would say so too.
They have 8:08 to work with, plenty of time. But it's getting to the point where they may only have maybe 2 more possessions, potentially 3, depending how this clock situation plays out. Terrence Thomas in the backfield with Rawls. Rawls takes it on the first carry. He's stopped at 25 for no gain. Bring up 2nd down. You might hear the crowd like they're talking about 12 men on the field, but I counted 11 on my quick math. I could be wrong, though. I count 11 out there.
So do I.
Yeah, the fans below us here. Anyway, last play failed the game, so it's 2nd down to 10. 7:40 and counting.
Rawls, they do have 12.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
They pump fake. Rawls rolls left, throws it out there on the far side. It's going to be complete. And making a nice move is going to be number 13 on the reception, Jacavius Harris. He's going to have the first down. Out to the 38-yard line. Well, if we were in college football, we could challenge that, I guess.
Yeah. I'm surprised that the Wetumpka coaching staff didn't pick it up.
So 13-yard gain. That was Harris's first reception of the night. 1st and 10.
They still got 12 on the field. Unless I'm not a math major, I'm counting 12.
I think it's 11, but it's awfully hard to tell with the jerseys for Stanhope-Elmore. We had a hard time picking up the numbers.
No, it's
tonight.
12.
Is it 12?
It is.
2 receivers to each side. They throw it out there on the far side, which Wetumpka does. And that's going to be, I believe, Malik Davis. Oh, he is driven down out of bounds near the midfield. Slammed over there.
He is suplexed.
Picks up 11 and a first down for Wetumpka. Davis' 2nd catch of the night. And the passing game for the Indians has really picked up here in the second half.
It really has. And E.J. Rogers has led the way there.
So second down, or check that, 1st and 10. Rawls. Go motion this time. They fake it to Davis. Rawls looking. Oh, it opens up for him. He's crossed the 45, makes an athletic move down the sideline at the 30. Still going, runs over a defender inside the 25-yard line.
You know, something that's not going to show up on the stat sheet there that E.J. Rogers just did was brilliant. He did not get the penalty, which he could have for a block in the back, but he still screened the defensive back for Stanhope to allow Rawls to get 3 or 4 more yards. A very smart play.
Sometimes you just got to get in front of the man. That's all you have to do, and let Rawls do the rest. 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 23-yard line, we'll call it. Thomas lines up behind Rawls this time. Rawls pulls it. Comes near side, looking. He's going to have to keep it himself. And a great job by the Mustang defense to string that out. Hardy and Hunt on the play there for the Mustangs.
Yeah, great pursuit that time, sideline to sideline.
And the clock continues to run here as he went out of bounds, 5:50. The visiting fans here are extremely upset. I don't think anybody recognizes it. Clock continues to run, 5:40. You hear all that noise in the background. It'll be 2nd and 11 for Wetumpka.
And when you've got 1 timeout left, it's even that much more paramount that the clock stops.
Rogers lined up at the bottom of the screen over here, has a huge cushion. But Rawls is going to roll the pocket left. Tosses it out there. It goes incomplete. There's a flag, though. And I'm going to have to assume that's interference on Stanhope-Elmore.
Yeah, the off arm, he kind of reached across the body. If he wouldn't have done that and just played the ball without putting the off hand on him, it would have been a good defensive play.
And Coach Bradford and staff not happy with the call. Still no official signal. Should be a spot foul, I believe. I don't even think that. There's only about a 5-yard out route on that pass. Still a lengthy discussion here. Clock stop, 5:21 remaining. And I think they actually called defensive holding was the official call on Stanhope-Elmore.
So that's 10 yards and an automatic first down.
So they're going to march that off here, and Wetumpka is into the red zone just like that. It's going to be second. It's 10-yard penalty. They had 2nd and 11, so it's 2nd and 1. This time, Jones in the backfield. Takes a snap. Drives right. Has some room. Boy, a host of Mustang defenders there looking like they were trying to strip the ball. As the pile moves forward down to the 7, it's going to be 1st and goal for Wetumpka.
1st and goal from the 7. Again, with just 1 timeout. If Wetumpka has a chance to have the ball late and score to win, they have burned 2 timeouts.
5:11 remaining. It's 1st and goal for the Indians. Clock runs now. Jones in the backfield with his 2 defensive players. Jones going to go straight ahead. Works left. There's a hole there. He drives. He's towards the goal line. He's in for the touchdown for Wetumpka. Making the score 28-27 with just 4:53 remaining.
He has run the ball so hard tonight, leading rusher, both squads. And out of that Wildcat set, he has been so effective that he's been basically unstoppable.
So Zachary Grindle back on to try to tie things up again here at Foshee Henderson Stadium. And we have been back and forth the entire second half, Darryl.
They're past that magical point mark that we talked about.
Sure are. We talked about 24 before the game. It's 28-27 at the moment. Oh, low snap. Kicks up, though. It's good. We are all tied at 28. Number 1, Wetumpka and Stanhope-Elmore here in a Region 3 showdown at Class 6A. You're watching EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network.
We're not your daddy's rock and roll station. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump. The only radio station in Montgomery playing new rock alternative. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump.
Welcome back to Foshee Henderson Stadium. This is the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week for the 5th consecutive week, Darryl. We have a game going right down to the last second.
We really do. I mean, give credit to Tommy House in the selection of these games that he has here. We've got some really great games, and we've been so blessed and fortunate that they have been close. No blowouts at all.
So McMillan and Hunt back deep for Stanhope-Elmore. Wetumpka has answered the call again to tie this up.
Question being, can Wetumpka's defense rise up, bow its neck, get off the field, and let their offense try to win it?
Kick is away. Hunt's going to take it on the far side at about the 3. Trying to bring it up towards the middle. He's dropped back inside the 20. Great coverage for the Indians.
That's what they needed, because if you can get a 3 and out, you're in great range. And we know that Grindle can kick it. He had a game-winning kick against Opelika. But Stanhope has answered the call every single time offensively with their backup quarterback Powers. Durham's had a big game. Finally, Anderson stepped up.
So Powers back in at quarterback. Has Xavier Hall in there with him. 3 receivers to the near side. Wetumpka running players in and out here late. Trips to the near side. Play clock still has 10 seconds on it. Powers looks to throw. He's looking for Bradford over here. Bradford makes the catch at the 30-yard line. Hangs on to it after the big hit for the first down.
Great courage and guts over the middle by Bradford. Went out of the game in the first half with an ankle injury and goes over the middle. Knows he's going to pay the price for that cane and holds on anyway.
Coach's son making a play. It picks up 14 on the play and a first down as we approach the 4.5-minute mark here. Again, trips to the near side. Anderson, Bradford, and Durham are going to hand this all off over Hall on the right. There's nothing happening there. He might have made it back to the line of scrimmage.
I feel like if Stanhope has a game-winning drive in it right now, it's going to have to be through the air. I don't think they're going to get anything on the ground against this Wetumpka defense.
Second down, call it 9 as we go to the 4-minute mark here at Foshee Henderson Stadium. Still trips to the near side. McMillan up there at the far side of the screen by the sidelines for the Mustangs. Powers looking to put it up in the air, has some time, dumps it off for Hall. It goes incomplete. Has a good coverage that time for Wetumpka.
And dangerously close again. Wetumpka not being very disciplined. Stanhope almost got a big break there with the roughing the passer.
So third down, we'll call it 10 to go with the scoreboard. 3rd and 10. Last time they had 9 up there. The Mustangs got to get to the 40. Wetumpka fans are making a lot of noise right below us. Bradford off to the right with Anderson and McMillan. And Durham down here at the bottom of the screen. Looking to throw, heavy pressure. He's looking for Durham on the near side here. It goes out of bounds, incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down in a punting situation for Stanhope-Elmore, and the Wetumpka defense rises to the occasion.
Malik Davis, who had the fumble punt, did a great job on isolated boundary coverage that time for Wetumpka. And now, just be smart. Stanhope's defense has played well tonight, though. An opportunity. They put Davis right back out there again, Kane, to field the punt.
So Davis fumbled him off the last punt, gave Stanhope-Elmore the short field. They cashed it in. And punting the ball here for the Mustangs. They're on to their backup punter. That's going to be number 23. Let me get his name again for you. So that is Jeremy Thompson punting, as Harris was hurt early in the game. Thompson gets it away. Davis calls for the fair catch this time at the 35-yard line. So here we go. 3:40 remaining. Number 1 with Wetumpka with the football and an opportunity to take the lead and kind of get a stranglehold here on Class 6A Region 3.
1 timeout left. They would have liked to have all 3, but there's so much time left on the clock, Kane, it really doesn't matter at this point. It might be an advantage to Wetumpka. If they do score, you leave Stanhope with a lot less time.
So here we go. A lot of noise here at Foshee Henderson Stadium from both sides. Tyquan Rawls goes back at their quarterback. He's going to have Jones and Thomas in the backfield with him. Wetumpka's passing game been very effective here in the second half.
Rogers has been a beast.
Thomas gets it. They're going to try to work that left side. He has some room over there. Driven out of bounds near the 40 on first down.
Good play call on first down. Gets 5 yards. Manageable.
The clock continues to run. I thought he went out of bounds, but no signal to stop it. 3:20 and counting. Last play gains officially 3 apparently. Went out of bounds or knocked out at the 38. Nevertheless, 2nd and 7. 3:10 clock still runs. Play clock has 15 on it.
I guess for whatever reason they're claiming he stayed in bounds. It just didn't look like he did.
Jones offset to the right of Rawls. They got Tripp stacked to the top of the screen there. Rawls pulls it near side, trying to get outside here. And our Stanhope defense has it bottled up. It was Hardy that made the initial play on the containment, bringing up a 3rd down and about 6 for Wetumpka.
And this is the situation that Stanhope's defense is put themselves in. Now, if they can rise up and make a big stop here, I think they've got all 3 of their timeouts.
They do. They have all 3 remaining.
And they have enough time for a game-winning drive.
Jones and Rawls in the backfield. They bring the H-back back in here. Looks like Davis going to the top of the screen, along with Johnson.
Rogers on an island out here.
Play clock's at 6. They're going to have to hurry up. They get lined up now. They snap it with 1. Rawls rolls the pocket. He's looking for Rogers. Oh, it's a stop and go. He's looking down the sideline. Rogers turns around for the football. There's contact, and I don't see a flag. There are no flags. It's incomplete. Much to the chagrin of the visiting fans over here, it'll bring up 4th down.
I wonder, Kane, if that ball was just so woefully underthrown that they deemed it uncatchable, and that's why there was no pass interference call there, because they did impede Rogers from getting back to the ball, and it looks like Wetumpka is, no, they're going to punt.
4th down and 6 at the 39. 2:08, the clock is stopped. Grindle comes on to punt it. Let's see who's back deep here. Anderson back deep for Stanhope-Elmore. They're having to run a player off late. They had 12 on the field there. Play clock's at 4. They're going to hurry up to get the snap off. There's movement up front. And the kick is blocked, but the play was blown dead. I think actually it's going to be on Wetumpka.
Did he come across?
Well, we've got both sides pointing at each other. They're going to mark it backwards, it looks like. The right side of the line was pointing for Wetumpka, and they moved. So 5 yards back. 5 yards of valuable field position at this point.
It really is, especially with Stanhope, with Anderson standing at the 40. If the ball reaches him and he can turn upfield, he's going to be at midfield.
Bradford and Harris both return punts. They've had their injury issues tonight, so Anderson in there. High snap. It's almost blocked. There's a Robbie roughing the kicker. The ball blocks dead, rolls dead inside the Stanhope-Elmore 36 as Grindle went down to the ground.
Is it? I think it's roughing. But
I think it's roughing too.
Are they going to call roughing or running into? Man, how do you miss that block?
I agree. It is a personal foul, roughing the kicker against Stanhope-Elmore. I'm with you, Darryl. It looked like that kick was going to be blocked.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take that off the foot, and if you do that, you don't rough them, and you got the ball at the 20-yard line. What a big, big swing and momentum. Stanhope would have had the ball at the 20. Now, as it is, Wetumpka's got new life.
So they're going to mark it on the Wetumpka 49, so 15 yards and a 1st down. So the Stanhope-Elmore defense really going to have to make a stand here. 1 timeout for Wetumpka, as Darryl said. 2 minutes exactly left here from Foshee Henderson Stadium. EXTERMITECH Pest Control game of the week as Jones and Rawls come out in the backfield. It's going to be a trick play. They're going to toss it back here. They're going to try to throw it. Rogers throws it down the far side over there, and going for the football was number 15, Jaleel Johnson, and a flag comes in late.
Yeah, he did impede him on that one. That ball was catchable, and he just got in there early with the little razzle-dazzle play there. But it's 15 yards instead of a touchdown.
That's exactly right. It's not necessarily a bad play by the defense.
That's what you're taught to do as a defensive back if you're beat.
So they're going to march this off. Some razzle-dazzle there from Coach Perry and the staff. What a time to call that play.
Yeah, Rogers probably could have tucked that and got about 10. But as it is, it's 15 yards.
So 15 yards. They're going to march it off. Spotted at the 36. Wetumpka getting close to field goal range. Clock stopped. 1:52 left. Nobody on this side of the stadium is sitting down. Most of the people on the home side also standing. A lot of noise here tonight at Foshee Henderson Stadium. 5th consecutive week here in the Montgomery Sports Network. We've had a game come down to the final minute. Rawls looks play clock down. I don't think they realize it. They're going to have to hurry up here. 5 seconds on the play clock. It's an empty backfield. Rawls takes it himself. Comes near side. It opens up for him. And he gets inside to the 25, down to the 20.
He's saying to the official, you're in my way and impeding my progress, or Rawls thinks he goes to the house there.
So 15 yards and a first down for Wetumpka. 1:46 left. Think they'll try to milk the clock here, or they just want to score?
I think you need to. I mean, I think you just do not want to give Stanhope any opportunity at all. Now if you get a quick touchdown, that's one thing. If it opens up and you can score, you score.
Play clock at 12. They're still looking to the sideline. Terrence Thomas back there with D'Angelo Jones in the backfield with Tyquan Rawls. Play clock's at 4. They're going to have to hurry again. Rawls gets the snap. He's going to try to put it up in the air. He's looking for Rogers near side. He's forced out of the pocket. Chase to the near side. He's wisely going to go out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. And the flag comes in late.
I wonder, I couldn't tell if that's a face mask. If he pushed him out of bounds, I really couldn't see.
If it was a push, it was light at that. They're waving the flag off. They're waving the flag off. Okay, I think that's the wise decision.
It was so ticky-tack. Yeah. You don't want to decide a football game like that.
So it'll be second down. Clock stop, 1:14 remaining. It'll be second down and 10 at the 20. For Wetumpka.
Good smart play that time by Rawls. Lived to fight for another play. Don't throw it into double coverage and don't force it.
So Rogers this time is going to go to the left of the formation with Johnson. Malik Davis at the bottom of the screen with Jones and Thomas in the backfield. They're going to throw it out here. Davis makes the grab behind the line. Tries to get outside to the 15. Brings the tackle. Knocked out of bounds near the 12-yard line. It'll stop the clock. They're going to mark him out to 13 officially.
Good play call that time. Good safe play call. Little screen pass. Let him get some yards.
So 1:08 remaining. Third down and 3 at the 13.
And here comes the heavy set with Jones in. You know, he's been picking up yardage all game long in this formation.
Colton Adams along with Patrick Lukes in the backfield there. Jones gets a snap, tries to go left. Oh, look at this pursuit from behind. What a play over there by Stanhope-Elmore. I don't know if he got the first. He fumbled the ball, but it might have went out of bounds. That was some heavy pursuit by Stanhope-Elmore.
It really was.
It's going to depend on the spot whether he has a first down or not.
And then what do? You 4th and 1, you kick the field goal and leave time on the clock? Or do you try to put the game away?
Based on the down marker on the near side, which is away from the where the play happened, he's short. There's a lengthy discussion over there of whether maybe he fumbled the ball forward. All critical spot. Down marker still says 3 on it. Still have not seen an official signal. So it's third. Well, it's got to be.
And we're sorry for the indecisiveness. It's just that the referees are not telling us.
And there's no measurement apparently. Now it's 4th down and 1. 4th down and 1, which I thought it should be. They finally changed the down marker to 4. Are we going to get a measurement? We are. Well, I don't understand, Darryl. Why would you move the football from where it went out of bounds to the hash mark to now measure it?
Leave it where it's at, make the measurement. It's just the indecisiveness of not deciding what you're going to do one way or the other. Kind of leaves both teams in limbo.
So 59 seconds remaining. They're going to stretch the chains out here. The Mustang players say no. But the head official says yes. First down and goal for Wetumpka. Just inside the 10-yard line.
Well, you just run 3 plays right here, and you just let 20 either take it in the end zone or get you closer for the game-winning field goal while time runs out.
So Adams stays in the backfield with Lucas. And D'Angelo Jones at running back. Been taking the direct snap most of the time in this formation. He gets it right there. He wasn't ready for it. The ball's loose on the ground. And Jones falls on it. And now we got, actually it was a delay of game. They never got the snap off.
Well, but this official's calling illegal motion.
Okay.
Yeah, he's calling illegal motion. Same strategy. I still run the ball here 3 times. What is it,
56 seconds. 3 seconds went off the clock there, even though there wasn't a play. The clock will not start until the snap now, as Wetumpka is running players in and out. Play clock's ticking again. Rawls back in there. Looks like Jones is going to be in the backfield with him. They're going to stack receivers to each side. Play clock's at 8. Wetumpka linemen don't know the play. 5 seconds, 4, 3. They're going to have to hurry. Rawls gets a snap. He's going to throw it here. It's out here to Davis. Makes the grab behind the line of scrimmage. He spins around, and there's going to be no gain there. Good job by the Mud. That's the ball stripped away. The ball is stripped away. Stanhope-Elmore has the football. It looks like it's going to be a touchdown for the Mustangs. That is number 5, Marvin Hunt.
Unbelievable play.
An amazing turn of events here in the last minute. Touchdown, Stanhope-Elmore. And they take the lead over number 1 Wetumpka. Shock and all here at Foshee Henderson Stadium.
One of the most unbelievable, improbable plays I've ever seen in high school football. Wetumpka is going in for the game-winning score. They get held up on a screen. That play from the get-go was doomed. It was called in too late. To wait that long for a play that was that ineffective just makes no sense at all. They held up the ball carrier, stripped him, and now it looks like number 1 will go down tonight here in Millbrook.
So let's reset it. Wetumpka had several plays there. They barely got the snap off. And that time, it didn't look like the lineman knew what was going on. Obviously, it was a pass out here away from them, but the ball was thrown about 5 or 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage there.
I don't know why you just don't run that heavy set, run Jones 3 times up the middle, run clock. You know he's going to get positive yards, run clock, and kick the field goal. That's a very curious play call, and it comes back to really doom Wetumpka.
So Marlon Hunt races 85 yards on the second non-offensive touchdown of the night. Stanhope-Elmore took a timeout there to get their extra point team on the field as Presetti will try to kick it. There is just shocking disbelief here on the visitor side of the stadium. And jubilation on the homestanding side for the Mustangs as Presetti's on to kick it to attempt the extra point. High snap. Oh, the kick is blocked. Can't return it. Although the Mustangs, Wetumpka comes out of there with it, so it'll be dead. And it'll be an opportunity here coming up on the kickoff. So let's reset it. Wetumpka looked like they had the game won, basically. The Mustangs make the big play again. The defensive touchdown, that's their second tonight.
Just a huge, improbable, big-time play when you got to have it. But, in all fair, give Stanhope credit, but Wetumpka with curious play calling. You don't even allow yourself to get in that situation where it can get stripped. You got Jones, who has been a beast. He's probably rushed for close to 200 yards tonight. You get him with 50-something seconds left to go. Yeah, it's 1st and goal from the 15, but you run it 3 times, you can get inside the 10. Run the clock down, kick the field goal, get out of here.
So 38 seconds left here.
And only one timeout.
One timeout.
Which was burned in the third quarter.
So Stanhope-Elmore on the verge of knocking off number 1 Wetumpka. The Mustangs lead at 34-28. You're watching the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Thomas goes back deep. Davis is out there, Malik Davis, along with 17 Bowman for Wetumpka. You think the Mustangs will kick it deep? They've had good kick coverage all night.
They have, but just think about poor Davis. That's his second big fumble of the night.
So here we go. Stanhope's going to have to hurry to get the kick. Play clock's down to 5 here on the kickoff. I don't know if they realize it. Now they tee it up. They kick it near side here. It's going to be Bowman coming near to the 30. Nice return, gets the sideline and gets out of bounds at about the 37-38, so it's manageable here for Wetumpka. 32 seconds left, but only one timeout.
Yeah, you've got probably, I would think, 3 plays, Kane, maybe 4. You can only use the middle of the field 1 time because you have 1 timeout. Everything else has got to be boundaries and sidelines. And Stanhope is woofing with the Wetumpka. So you got to be careful. You get an unsportsmanlike and get 15 yards, then you're really close.
So a lot of noise from both sides here, from both sidelines. Wetumpka, I don't see any flags. There's going to be 1st and 10. They're going to spot it at the, well, they just don't have the spot right. Back to the 37 now.
Well, you got to go to Rogers one-on-one. He has been almost uncoverable, and you can hope for a pass interference call if you're Wetumpka, Kane.
We got a timeout taken by Stanhope-Elmore, they take a timeout according to the PA system, so they should have one remaining.
So here's what you have. You have an opportunity, if you're Wetumpka, for maybe 3 plays. One of them's got to be a shot down the field with Rogers one-on-one because he's either caught the ball or has been interfered with. Now, unlike the NFL, it's just a 15-yard penalty, so all it really does is get you over midfield. You take that penalty every time if you're beat. The 2 timeouts that were called in the third quarter really coming back to haunt Wetumpka right now. But they've got the middle of the field for 1 play. Other than that, they got to go sideline.
So it's going to be a receivers. We'll set them over here for you. On the far side, it's going to be Johnson with Harris and Davis. On the bottom of our screen here is going to be Rogers and Terrence Thomas. Empty backfield for Rawls. Chance of defense from the homestanding Mustang crowd here. Rawls gets a snap, looks left, now looks back right. Oh, it opens up for him. He has a lot of room across midfield. Running down the sideline inside the 40. And he's out of bounds inside the 35. The clock stops. 23 seconds left. There's a pickup of 30 and a first down.
And you wonder about those times when the clock should have been stopped and it wasn't. You may have 10 more seconds if you're Wetumpka here.
Yeah, there have been numerous times the clock has been running not stopped if the first downs are going out of bounds.
You can go to the middle of the field here, Kane, and pick up 15 or 20 yards and call a timeout. That would be big.
So Rawls, a quarterback here. Empty again. Gets a snap. Looks. This time under heavy pressure. Can't escape at the moment. Still dancing around. Throws it late. Has a man over here on the near sideline. It's Rogers down near the 20-yard line.
What a play. And you got a hurt Wetumpka. He's got to get off the field.
11 seconds remaining here. 11 seconds. An injured player for Wetumpka just hopped off. But they're out of bounds at about the 21. Maybe time for 2 plays. These plays have been eating up about 10 seconds on each of them.
Still 1 timeout left.
Rogers goes off to the left this time. He has Davis over there on the far side. Harris and Johnson at the bottom of the screen. Rawls looks. Still looking. Clock running. Throws near side incomplete. And clock stops with 5 seconds left.
You got to throw that into the end zone. You cannot short hop the sideline. If you do that, you got to pick up at least 10. So now there's 1 play, and they still have their timeout. They could have went to the middle of the field, called timeout.
Now they are taking their timeout with 5 seconds remaining. So Wetumpka needs a touchdown just to tie it up. They trail by 6. Stanhope-Elmore leads at 34-28. And once again, high drama here on the Montgomery Sports Network. The number 1 Indians, Class 6A Region 3, in a tie at the moment with Stanhope-Elmore. One team's going to take a major step towards potentially winning a region championship. I know who Opelika is rooting for in this play.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, and I'm surprised. They may be in the stands right now after the Benjamin Russell game or on their way home watching and tuning in to see how this game turns out.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10, but that doesn't matter. 5 seconds left. Basically time for 1 play here.
And you got to go to the end zone, obviously, and I would look for Rogers. Now, if obviously a defensive penalty, it's an untimed down, so if there was something like that happened, you get moved inside the 10. But I would have tried to run something to the middle of the field, called timeout, and got a little closer.
So here we go. We got Rawls going out there, quarterback. Bottom of the screen here, we're going to have 3 receivers, it looks like. Davis and Harris and Johnson. Rogers up there all by himself on the far side. Going to look to throw. Rawls. He's trying to hit the back out of the backfield over there on the far side. It goes incomplete, and the clock hits 000, and number 1 Wetumpka goes down to Stanhope-Elmore as jubilation on the sidelines for the Mustangs.
Just unbelievable performance, gutty performance by Stanhope-Elmore. Give them all the credit in the world, the plays that they made to win this football game. Yeah, some of it was a little self-inflicted and curious, some of the play calling, but Stanhope deserves all the credit. They made the plays when they had to, and they knock off number 1.
So Wetumpka falls to 6-1 on the season. Their first loss, first time the Mustangs have beaten Wetumpka in 3 years. Wetumpka had won 3 in a row coming into this contest. It was back and forth all night, Darryl. Wetumpka, though, could never get the lead after they led 7-6. Stanhope-Elmore answered the call every single time.
Yeah, every time they answered the drive. They answered it with a big play on defense or an improbable catch They really had no running game to speak of at all. I mean, that aspect of their offense was completely taken away from Wetumpka, but yet they made the miracle play. I mean, Wetumpka was driving down the field, and honestly, let's call a spade a spade. You run the ball 3 times up the middle, you kick the field goal, you get out of here. They went for a pass that was 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and that was actually called in late, and the Stanhope saw the opportunity and seized it.
So congratulations to the Mustangs and Coach Bradford. They win 34-28 over number 1 Wetumpka. And for region play now, Mustangs are 3-0. Wetumpka now 2-1. With Opelika, we assume 2-1. They were winning big at halftime, which means in 2 weeks that's going to be a huge game over in Lee County when Stanhope-Elmore travels to take on Opelika.
Yeah, and if obviously they've got their destiny in their own hands, but if Opelika wins that game, it's a 3-way tie, and I have no clue what the tiebreaker is there because everybody will have beaten everybody.
So we're going to take a timeout here. You have just witnessed the EXTERMITECH Pest Control Game of the Week once again here on the Montgomery Sports Network. Came down to the final wire. Our final score, Stanhope-Elmore 34, Wetumpka 28. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap it up.
Experience the history of the first country music superstar and see how Hank Williams transformed country music and sowed the seeds of what was to become American music. Visit the Hank Williams Museum, nestled in historic downtown Montgomery, Alabama. The Hank Williams Museum is one of the top tourist attractions in Alabama. Museum hours are 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, and 1 to 4 on Sunday. And they offer group rates, AAA, and military discounts.
Montgomery's best country is on Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Bama Country with Bubba and Christy every weekday morning 5:30 to 10 a.m.
We're gonna have a house party.
Bama Country, playing today's best country and all the country legends. Bama Country 98.9 WBAM. Listen to Bama Country 98.9 WBAM.
And welcome back to the Montgomery Sports Network, where you just witnessed Stanhope-Elmore's upset of number 1 Wetumpka 34-28. My name's Kane Young. I'm here with Daryl Dapperts. Daryl, let's take a moment here to thank our sponsors who make these games possible. Obviously, first, our title sponsor, EXTERMITECH Pest Control. If you have bugs bugging you, call EXTERMITECH. They have been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Call 334-209-4590. ProtectingALWorkers.com. Workers' compensation attorney Matt Matthews has many years of experience litigating workers' compensation cases in Alabama. Visit ProtectingALWorkers.com. Call 334-721-4878. We'd also like to thank the Hank Williams Museum. Learn about the musical history and life of a Montgomery man who is known as the legendary singer Hank Williams. Browse the large gift shop. Groups are always welcome at the Hank Williams Museum in downtown Montgomery. We'd also like to thank Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, located down the street from the Capitol Building at 138 Dexter Avenue. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs, taste the tradition. Call orders in advance, 334-265-6850. Also, MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks. MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks is a local owned and operated business. Be sure to check out their decorative handrails. Call MIDSTATE 334-313-9015. And here's Daryl with the rest of our sponsors.
American Oak and More, committed to offering exceptional furniture at affordable prices. You don't pay with fake money, so don't settle for fake wood. Call 334-277-7793. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe. From their great lunch selection and value to the tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something for all. Dine in or carry out available. Call 334-274-1153. Industrial Specialty Company Incorporated. Since 1974, Industrial Specialty Company has built an international reputation as the premier provider of high-quality precision machine parts and assemblies. Visit their website, industrialspecialty.com, or call 334-277-2224 to learn more about ISCI. And we'd like to thank our media partners, the stations of Blue Water Broadcasting, News Talk 93.1, KISS FM 96.1, Jams 97.9, Bama Country 98.9, Yo 100.5, Classic Country The Possum, The Gump 104.9, and 107.1 The Vault. They are local folks helping local businesses. Call them today and let them help your business at 334-244-0961.
So we're going to take a quick time out here on the Montgomery Sports Network and come back and wrap it up with our players of the game in just a moment. Once again, the final score, Stanhope-Elmore with the huge upset over number 1 Wetumpka by a score of 34-28. We'll take a time out and be back in just one moment.
La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe, located on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown Montgomery, is one of the area's finest Mexican restaurants. From our great lunch selection and value to our tablecloth and candle evening atmosphere for dinner, La Zona Rosa has something to offer all connoisseurs of fine Mexican dining. Come on down today and enjoy some great Mexican. La Zona Rosa Hillwood Mexican Cafe on Zelda Road, minutes from downtown. EXTERMITECH Pest Control is a small, passionate, and powerful team. If you have bugs bugging you, join the EXTERMITECH family and have peace of mind that comes from the expertise of a professional company and enjoy their personal service. EXTERMITECH is locally owned and operated. They've been bugging the competition for over 15 years. Each and every customer is important to them. Customer service, their #1 goal. Call EXTERMITECH 334-209-4590.
We're not your daddy's rock and roll station. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump. The only radio station in Montgomery playing new rock alternative. 104.9, The Gump. Montgomery's alternative rock station. 104.9, The Gump.
I had a dream, a beautiful dream. I couldn't believe how real it seemed. Up on stage, in the field of green, on the winding river, and a song you'll sing. When I wake up, I'll see you here in Montgomery, where dreams come true.
If you're injured on the job, the law requires your employer to pay your medical expenses and cover your lost wages for any work-related injury. Employers and their insurers often try to deny workers' compensation claims or limit your benefits. Whether you're totally disabled and cannot work, or if you've suffered some impairment, attorney Matt Matthews has years of experience litigating. For more information, go to the website protectingalworkers.com. That's protectingalworkers.com. MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks Incorporated is a locally owned and operated business in Montgomery, Alabama. And we've been in business since 1985 and served Montgomery and the surrounding counties with burglar bars, ironworks. Our philosophy is being honest, dependable, and treating each customer with respect and selling a quality product at a fair price. If you need burglar bars or ironwork of any kind, call MIDSTATE Burglar Bars and Ironworks, Montgomery.
It was 1917. Charlie Chaplin appeared as the Little Tramp, Walt Disney graduated from high school, and Woodrow Wilson was reelected president. And in Montgomery, Chris's sold their very first hot dog. Move forward to the 1950s. Hank Williams was hanging out at Chris's. Up through the 70s and 80s, many stars and politicians discovered Montgomery's little secret. Jump ahead to the new millennium. Riverwalk Stadium, the alleyway, and the new downtown. It's now 100 years later, and Chris's is still serving their world-famous hot dogs at 138 Dexter Avenue. How long has it been since you've tasted the city's most famous hot dog? Make Chris's part of your family history. Still family-owned and operated, Chris's makes every hot dog and hamburger to order. Take Chris's to your next party or event. Call-in orders are welcome. Online at chrishotdogs.com and on Facebook. Chris's Famous Hot Dogs. Taste the tradition.
And welcome back to the Montgomery Sports Network, where number 1 Wetumpka has fallen to Stanhope-Elmore. It is time for us to name our Montgomery Sports Network All-Stars of the Game. We're going to start with the Montgomery Sports Network Offensive All-Star of the Game, sponsored by attorney Matt Matthews. That's going to be number 20, D'Angelo Jones for Wetumpka.
Yeah, our calculations had him close to or over 200 yards. He was just a beast running the football out of the Wildcat and played really good defensively too, but offensively he was the leading ground gainer on the night and gave Wetumpka every opportunity to win the football game.
And the Montgomery Sports Network Defensive All-Star of the game, sponsored by attorney Matt Matthews, is going to be number 5 for Stanhope-Elmore, Marlon Hunt.
Marlon Hunt made a play tonight that is on par with some of the great plays that we've seen in Alabama high school athletics. I mean, not to sound dramatic, but that play, when you strip a ball like that, now let's remember, he's doing this against the number 1 team in the state, the number 1 team in the region up to that point where they were tied, and their bitter rival. To make a play like that in that setting is huge.
So, 5th straight week, Daryl, that we've had a game come down right to the final seconds here on the Montgomery Sports Network. We saw Lanier walk one off. We've had the Trinity game last week at Montgomery Academy, a 1-point game. We had Stanhope Shades Valley came down to the final 10 seconds, and tonight the Mustangs get some redemption here against their longtime rival.
Well, this was so huge on so many levels because of the ramifications of the win. It's not just, oh, wow, that was improbable. We stripped a guy at the 10-yard line and ran it 90 yards for a touchdown to win. That in itself is unbelievable. But when it gives you the lead in the region and puts you in the driver's seat, just an unbelievable football game. Give Stanhope so much credit for the way they played, and really right now this is their region to win and host a first-round playoff game, and it's going to be between Opelika and Wetumpka, perhaps Wetumpka getting the 2nd seed because they beat Opelika head-to-head. But there's so much football left to be played, and a 3-way tie would just really screw all that up.
Yeah, we saw that last year also in the same region. So for Stanhope-Elmore, first time they beat Wetumpka in 3 years. They lost 3 in a row. Last year they lost by 27 at Wetumpka. But the resiliency for both teams in this game, back and forth, back and forth. The injuries to Stanhope-Elmore, it looked dire for them in the first half, but they found a way to answer the call. And likewise for Wetumpka in the third quarter. Every time they trailed by 7, they were able to tie it up, and they were right down there knocking on the door in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, that's an understated point you made. We keep forgetting that Stanhope lost 2 of their best offensive weapons in the first half and still did this. And then Wetumpka, they just could never get over the hump, Kane. They could tie the ball game, but every time they had an opportunity to take the lead, they just couldn't. And I had the feeling that if they could take the lead, they would win the ball game, that all they would have to do was get out in front. They never could do that, and credit Stanhope's defense for not allowing that to happen.
So congratulations to Coach Bradford and his staff on the victory. A huge win, program statement win for them here tonight against number 1 Wetumpka. Next week we will be at Wetumpka as Benjamin Russell comes in there to play Wetumpka, and now what is setting up as another huge region game for the Indians against the Wildcats.
It'd be interesting to see how Wetumpka comes out and plays. With the number 1 stigma off their back, the target off their back, this game hurts. If you're a player and you could just watch body language when that fumble went the other direction and that guy was running down the sidelines, having been involved in athletics, these are the types that are tough to come back from. You'll stay awake tonight. You'll look at the ceiling if you're a coach or a player. And so how does Wetumpka respond? There's still a lot ahead of them. They could still get the 1 seed. They can come into the playoffs as a 2 seed, get a home game, and still do a lot of damage. So they have to bounce back, but it's one of the most difficult pills to swallow losing like that.
So once again, our final score tonight from Foshee Henderson Stadium here in Millbrook, it is Stanhope-Elmore with the 34-28 upset of Wetumpka. Our executive producer here on the Montgomery Sports Network is Stephanie House. Our technical director is Tommy House. Stephen Mock is our replay operator. On camera, Josh Cheney on here tonight. Our color commentator, Darryl Dapprich. My name's Kane Young. We thank you for watching tonight. Join us next week at mymgmsports.com as we take the road show over to Wetumpka for the game against Benjamin Russell. Thank you for watching tonight, and good night.